Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Heavily Altered Podcast, episode 4. I'm Naimur.
I can't believe we've made it this far. I'm Daniel.
My name is Jair Bolsonaro, president of Brazil.
Oh man, our
Oh my
special
God.
guest today,
Emperor
He's the
Bolsonaro.
president of
How are
Brazil?
you today, sir?
Oh my God, dude, tell us, how is Brazil right now?
Well,
How is it?
I'm instituting military-style schools, so students basically have to wear uniforms, attend drills, that kind of stuff.
Military drills, like
You know, when I think of you, I think about textbook democracy, and how are you guys able to do it so properly? It amazes me so much.
So basically, we get the Dolphins to cast the votes, and they all vote for me because they love
Like
me.
the Miami Dolphins?
Because I
Like
gave
our
them,
Miami
no,
Dolphins?
like the animals, like the fish.
the
You
ones
get
that you
dolphins from Miami.
the ones
And
that you
since
keep
I gave
captured
them-
in cages,
Exactly.
right?
And since
Yeah,
I give
okay.
them suffrage rights, they all vote for me.
I don't understand. Where does Miami come into play with
How
this?
wait?
stuff?
How do they vote again? Like, because they can't fill out a ballot. So what's the process for dolphins voting?
Well,
Again, where does Miami play
I'm
with
just
these
saying
dolphins?
the paper just appears. The paper just appears and then they all voted for me. So that's just how
Right.
That's how it
So
is.
they are wizard dolphins who summon papers with your
Yeah.
name on it that just
Yeah,
happen
exactly.
to appear.
Speaking of textbook
Okay.
democracy, speaking of democracy, a couple months ago, I saw this interesting video my brother showed me from Vox. It was basically talking about
Which one?
how. I'm just about to get to that.
Yeah.
Bolsonaro. Senor Bolsonaro.
Which one?
That's Luke, by the way, not actual Bolsonaro. whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
for our audience listeners, we didn't actually invite the president of Brazil as a guest.
who couldn't.
I know he sounds. I know Luke has a killer impression of him. That is not him. That is Luke.
Wow,
Luke, you
your
can stop the
English is
charade.
so fluent.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
so anyway.
listen. I'm just saying. My closest friend works very close with him, with Mr. Bolsonaro. He might be on pretty soon.
Who? What?
Oh, really?
Okay.
We might
Mr.
have him.
Mr.
We're
Pres-
gonna
Mr.
have him
President
as a guest
Bolsonaro.
for real.
We're gonna have Bolsonaro himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be our It's gonna be our dictator special.
That's our opus magnum. That's our.
No, we're
our-
gonna have a trilogy. It's gonna be the dictator trilogy. We'll have him. We'll have Mahatma Gandhi, even though
Julius
he's not a
Caesar.
dictator, and then
and he's also dead.
yeah, but me and him share.
And
the
he's
same
also
birthday, though.
bald. He's
So
also
we can-
bald.
we
Oh,
can
you
figure
shared the
that
same
out.
birthday.
Yeah, me and Jacob Sartorius, or me, him, and Jacob Sartorius.
We'll
The
get
trifecta.
a spirit whisperer to talk to
I have,
Mahatma
this,
Gandhi.
I have the same birthday as George R.R. Martin, who wrote the Game of Thrones series, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was surprised when
That's
I
cool.
learned that.
So
yeah.
speaking of textbook democracy, what
You know,
were gonna
Daniel.
say
You know,
next?
Daniel has the same. Daniel has the same birthday as some idiot who was born on April 27th.
Yeah, some
Oh, I
idiot.
thought you were
I
about
don't
to
know
say
who that
April
could be.
20th. I thought you were about to say April 20th. I was so scared that
That would have
oh,
been-
no Hitler. No,
That would
That's
have
not
been
good.
great off Hitler.
Well, Hitler was born on that day.
420. Yeah,
Barely.
his parents knew. His parents knew 420.
His parents
They
knew.
did it on purpose.
His parents
They did it on
knew. They're like, this will be the day.
Have you not seen that meme that's been going around? It's not a meme. It's just like one of his old paintings, and people be like, "Man, I want this painting framed." And I had no idea like why it was a meme until I realized, oh, Hitler
'Cause it
made
was
that
Hitler.
painting.
Yeah, it was his
Yeah.
painting.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. It looked like cyberpunk.
I mean, I'm
kind
gonna
of.
be honest. I don't know why they kicked him out of art school. I'm just gonna say that he should have
Yeah, they
stayed in
should've
art
I didn't
school.
get. I didn't get into Harvard. You don't see me starting out all.
Did
out
you
war
apply to
against-
Harvard? Did you apply to Harvard?
No, but like I knew my limits.
Uh-huh.
Maybe
I didn't
Hitler
get
should just
in
know-
there, but I also didn't
Uh-huh.
apply.
Maybe Hitler should just not know. Should have known his limits. You know what I mean? Like you're not.
I'm just
top
saying.
Known
1%.
his limits? What do you
Listen,
mean should have known?
I'm
his
just
limits?
saying-
You need to
I'm just
clarify
saying
that
it was-
statement. Hold on.
I'm just
He
saying.
needs
I'm
to
just saying.
clarify that statement.
I'm just
Luke.
saying.
What did
I'm
he
just
even
saying.
mean?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying it was the mustache that made him evil.
Thank you, Luke, for being
The
very
mustache
annoying
gave him
in that
power.
one moment. For that one.
Oh,
time.
remember Daniel? Daniel, do you remember when we were sophomores? You and me were walking from lunch into the band hall, and we were we were doing like a joke argument like we do all the time about.
Mhm.
I was arguing that short people become evil, and I was saying, "Look who's short: Adolf Hitler,
Was he
Mussolini."
short?
Yes,
No, he
there's
was like.
somewhat
I'm pretty sure he was 6 feet tall. But then
One
I
of
was
them
like,
is
"You,
short.
so you're short like Hitler, and you must also be evil." And I said that last part right as we were walking in, and our band director was standing right in front of us, and she heard everything.
Oh yeah, she did hear that. That was really uncomfortable.
That was really
we walk in and
uncomfortable.
Luke's like, "And you're evil like Hitler," and I'm like, Yikes! What a great time to walk
No,
in.
no, and then she
I'm
just,
pretty
like,
sure all of this is gonna get us demonetized. By the way, I think if you mention his name
No,
more
but
than
we're not
5
cursing.
times,
We're not cursing. Okay, can we call?
And
we
if
can
you don't
say
say-
eat ladder, eat the ladder. You know what I mean? It's like French.
It's ladder.
right?
Eat the
Hey.
ladder.
Or we could call him.
Air Fuhrer.
didn't use his-
We can call him that.
We didn't use
Can we
his
not?
first name, so
We can call him
Cranium
Fuhrer.
Hitler?
Fuhrer.
fewer.
Fuhrer.
Or we can just say him with a capital H, like Christians do for God.
Oh, yikes! That's not. That's a.
I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna do
Incidentally
him.
controversial statement.
Dude,
Yeah.
Luke's comparing Hitler to God now. On
So
accident.
yeah. Anyway, textbook
Um,
democracies. This is what this conversation was. Yeah, like Germany,
Yair Bolsonaro.
World War One, and
like
Brazil
Germany
today.
in World War One.
no.
Hey, you know
Anyway,
what's
I
really
was-
concerning? You know what's really concerning? The potential of a second rise in fascism in Europe. That's it.
Where?
That's all I wanted to
I'm
say.
not familiar.
Europe.
In
So
Europe.
You've never
Just
been
all-
there. You've
Just
never
Eastern
heard.
Europe.
What? Like in Russia?
No, like
Well, I
like,
guess that's technically Eastern.
like mainland,
Europe.
like Poland and
Like mainland
Czechoslovakia.
Europe. Are you gonna
No,
tell me
not
Russia's not on
Poland.
mainland?
How are they gonna
Okay,
patch
but Naimur-
CD Project or Cyberpunk?
How are,
Naimur,
yeah,
it's
what
still
is gonna
pretty
happen
fucked.
to Cyberpunk, Luke? What's gonna
They
happen?
cannot. No, okay. Actually,
They're
speaking
gonna
of
migrate to
Poland,
Silicon Valley.
speaking of Poland and CD Projekt Red, the creators of Cyberpunk, there's this no-clip documentary that basically before Cyberpunk came out, like way before, like when Witcher 3 had just come out or something. No clip, really cool YouTube channel about video game documentaries. You guys should totally watch it. You guys should watch it
But
too.
they're about video game documentaries, or they make video game
They're
documentaries.
documentaries about video games. It's like he gets funded through Patreon.
So they
and he
make
makes
video
documentary.
documentaries. Okay, gotcha.
Luke is screwing with
Yes.
you, Naimur. Move on.
Anyway, Luke, the human version of backwards. Anyway, so or talking in circles, but yeah,
we
and
all
they
are.
were talking about
I
the
think
start.
you see, I think I'd be a good lawyer because I can talk in circles like that. That's all.
He's saying
Yeah,
he can.
or a
filibuster.
politician, either or.
Or a
What's the
politician,
difference?
yeah.
Am I right, fellas?
They hire Luke just to filibuster Congress for days and days,
Yeah,
It goes
like
on
instead
for
of
a week straight.
despite the fact
Instead-
that he's not a congressman.
instead of
So
Ted
he has
Cruz
no
reading
reason to be
Dr.
in there.
Seuss, Luke just talks. And he just like completely BS's everything.
He talks, and he didn't plan at all, so it's all improv.
Completely improv.
Oh my god, this podcast is going nowhere. Namer, continue with your textbook democracy
Okay.
conversation.
Okay,
No, wait,
since-
no, it was
That's
something
what he was
else.
talking about at all.
We were talking about textbook democracy, and now we're talking about fascism, and we're talking about Poland now because Luke's afraid they're gonna go fascist, and I'm afraid they're gonna go fascist because that means I will not get a working build of Cyberpunk 2077 on my PS4. So
I thought we weren't going to talk
Um,
about the game on the podcast.
Just get it on a PS5.
I'm talking
I mean,
about,
B word.
and that's I gotta do the stopwatch for the first time. All right,
It's
we
too
9
Hey, that's
minutes
actually
in.
that's a good record though. 10 minutes in. Well, 8 minutes.
Yeah,
and we
it's
cut
been
out the
50
first 2
minutes. It's been 50 minutes.
For
Yeah,
those
it's
of you
been
that
50
don't
minutes.
know, Luke might have cursed. You didn't hear it because Daniel took away the audio. But the way I'm doing is every time someone curses, I have to press lap on my stopwatch, and this is the first time.
Hey,
So
I
we're
just
gonna-
want to.
we're
I
gonna-
just want to say, for the record, Daniel took away the audio and also added an explosion sound.
No, I didn't.
No, you
No,
didn't.
I did not. I did not add
For
an
those
explosion sound.
on the record, Daniel has made a CG rendering of God.
No.
Of
Of
God.
God, despite the fact we've never seen him. Well, I
Hey,
mean,
neighbor,
we've
wait,
never
isn't that sacrilege for you?
Yeah.
No,
You can't
it's
see God.
it's Prophet
Sacrilege?
Muhammad.
It's sacrilege only for neighbor.
Yeah, I feel like it's for most people. I don't know. But
No, I
for
was gonna
most
say it's for
religions.
most people. Technically, most religions are supposed to be that way, but I think a lot
Even-
of
That's,
them.
even-
that's the Prophet
even
Muhammad.
Most of
atheists?
them.
Even atheists?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
illegal
sure,
to
whatever.
paint a blood.
Wait, neighbor, is it? Can you see? Did you say you can't see Muhammad?
You're not allowed to depict him in the Quran.
I thought you couldn't see Allah.
I love how you say the whitewashed version of Allah.
Allah.
That's so funny.
Ula.
Allah.
Okay, I thought you couldn't see
Imagine
him.
if like people were just like Jesus. You know what I mean? That'd be so funny.
Jesus.
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 I'm
The
gonna be
Hispanic-
honest. I just avoid pronouncing most things that I just can't pronounce. Like earlier, we were talking about Richard, the comedian Richard
Ayawadi. I think that's his name.
I can
Ayawadi.
spell it. I can spell it,
Ayawadi.
but
Yeah, it's
But
it's
it
spelled like
doesn't-
Iode.
yeah,
It's
IOA or
Iode.
whatever.
Like an isotope? Like isotope?
I think it's Ayawadi, but yeah.
I don't know
Very
where you got
underrated,
isotope. He's
Richard
funny.
Isotope, his brother. But
John
No
Isotope.
relation.
John G. Isotope.
yeah.
Is that where the name
Lucas
isotope
Bolsonaro?
came from?
No.
Hey, remember when I said that I was tired last night and couldn't do a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
I actually stayed up till like 1:00.
Oh, right. Luke is
So
screwing
nice.
over our podcast. He is stealing all of the content and money from us.
I'm
know.
laundering all the money we're making, which is $0.
See, I have a confession too. I couldn't do the podcast because I was actually having a one-on-one meeting with Bolsonaro. So
Oh, really?
I had to tell y'all right
Oh,
now.
Luke,
cheating
earlier
on me.
when you said you have a close friend who has a close connection to the president of Brazil, were you referring to Naimur? Was Naimur your close connection?
Yeah.
Guys, it all connects. We tied it back. I think we can end the podcast. It all connects.
You
now.
know,
We're
you know
all
the
good.
you know the six.
all of
the-
our
the
loose ends are
six-
tied up.
You know the 6 connections or whatever.
Yeah, the six.
It's that, except it's one connection.
For people who don't know what Luke's talking about, there's this like theory that you can connect yourself to every single person on Earth with 6 connections, and all that means is one person that knows another person. So they
All right,
don't have to
Luke,
be blood.
I'm gonna
related,
ask you
they don't
one,
have to be,
okay?
you know,
And
blah,
you
blah,
have
blah.
to tell me, like, be for real. Like, you have to figure out
Okay.
this out right now. Take
Okay.
the entire podcast
Okay.
if you need to. I'm gonna ask
Okay.
you right now. Eddie Murphy.
And
6
then
people
we'll
connect
just-
you to Eddie Murphy right now.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
completely honest. I don't know who Eddie Murphy is.
He doesn't know who Eddie Murphy is. How do you? I knew he was gonna say something like that. Oh,
my
I just
God.
said it.
Have you never seen Shrek?
No, I'm just kidding.
Namer,
Okay,
can you
listen,
tap
I got
the,
it, I got
the
it.
stopwatch real quick?
Why? Okay.
Because I said one, but you missed it.
I did not hear it. See, I'm gonna miss some.
Yeah.
Okay,
These
listen,
Stopwatch
listen,
curses.
listen.
hmm
I live in the United States. Eddie Murphy also lives in the United States.
No, that's not how the game works. Not the
You have to
game. The
connect
theory
yourself
works. You connect
between
yourself through
6 people.
people.
Okay,
I bet
listen,
he knows
listen.
Samuel L. Jackson. I bet you know Samuel L. Jackson because.
Yeah, no, work backwards. Be like Eddie Murphy. Okay, he knows
Okay,
Brad
listen.
Pitt probably, and I do not know Brad Pitt. But
Listen, no, I
Brad
bet
Pitt
Eddie
probably-
Murphy has meant. No, listen,
Figured it
Eddie
out.
Murphy's probably meant President Obama. President Obama's motorcade drove by me when I was in Washington D.C.
There you go. 2 connections right there.
solid.
Obama saw him and they instantly became friends. They locked eyes and they just knew each other. They connected on a
Okay.
level no one else has.
So would
Neymar, I'm
person rule.
gonna do one for you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do one for you.
I got it.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi and me
Do
share
they
the
have
same
to be
birthday.
alive? I don't know if they have to be alive.
Mahatma
But
Gandhi
it's
and me share
fine.
the same birthday. So
No, it has to be people. You
That
have
was
to
too
connect
easy.
with people.
That was too easy.
people.
Okay, listen. You have to connect with 3
Jacob
people.
Sartorius shares the same birthday with me, and Mahatma Gandhi shares the same birthday. as Jacob Sartorius.
No.
So
Oh my god, man! You guys aren't you guys aren't understanding how this works. Here's how it works. I'm gonna connect myself to myself. Ready? I know my dad. My dad knows my mom. My mom knows my sister. My sister knows me. Boom! I just connected to myself. 4 connections.
Add one more.
that
Add
just
one
sounds
more.
like slavery
Your
with
sister-
extra steps.
One
Add
more?
what?
Yeah.
Add one more.
Okay.
Your sister knows me, and I know you.
Wow. He
Oh,
filled
that's
up the
5.
entire
Dude, I did
6
it in
commandments.
5.
There's 6
Oh, we can do it in
All
all
6
6. We can do it in all
commandments?
6. Your sister knows
Oh,
my
really? We
sister.
can do 6?
My sister knows me, and I know you.
Uh huh. Oh wow! So 6 connections. So we
Yeah,
could
that's
actually
the
do
rule.
7 if we wanted, but that would
Welcome
break
to-
the point of the game.
Break the rule.
Welcome to the Circle Jerk podcast, where nothing gets done, and we literally just like BS for a
Oh my
solid
God.
2 hours.
Hey, listen.
Anyway,
Yeah.
When I'm
I don't
when
even
I'm
know
a
what we were talking
congressman,
about. I don't really.
when
care
I'm a
anymore.
congressman, that's gonna be my entire job is just filibustering for hours on end.
This is just Luke practicing for his filibuster job.
Yeah, like not like he's gonna go into like the room or wherever. He's just gonna practice his office hours at a time, just filibustering. Like his assistant will walk in. Luke is looking directly at the wall, and he's just like, "Yeah, Dr. Seuss." No, I says the Cat in the Hat. The Cat in the Hat. As I don't know. I don't remember Cat in the Hat from memory. But
You could have
Listen,
just
know,
done.
he's
you,
like-
Neighbor, if you think I, as a respectable filibusterer, will read Dr. Seuss on the floor of the Senate, you were sorely mistaken.
okay, my bad. Matt. He's gonna
this
read
guy's-
Game of
okay,
Thrones.
Namer,
My
hold
bad.
on. Hold on. Let's talk about this real quick. Luke is a very respectable filibusterer. He is top-notch
might say.
quality. Do you think he's gonna lower himself to the standards of reading Dr. Seuss? No, he reenacts
man.
Hamlet.
Listen.
Every single role. He plays every single role of Hamlet.
All
The
all the
entire,
orchestra too.
all acts. He also, he sings the orchestration in front of all of Congress whenever he needs to filibuster. Every time. They've
Every
probably
time.
seen Hamlet. They've probably seen Hamlet 400 times at this point.
Sometimes do it 5 or 6 times in one filibuster session.
Oh my god, dude!
There's a
He's getting
funny
faster,
video.
He's getting faster and faster, and he starts speed running it.
On the contrary,
Yeah,
it actually gets slower and slower.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
There's a funny video. It's one of my all-time favorite videos on YouTube. It's basically, I think it's from the Nerdist. There's like a scene from something, or I don't know if this is real
The
life.
nudist?
Nerdist. No, not what I said.
Do I have to cut that out? I don't think I have to
Okay,
cut that out.
I will put the lap on that. Anyway,
Do I need to?
I don't know. I put a lap just in case, and then you could decide when you edit.
Okay.
Ah.
Hey, nerd! Listen, I'm saying nudism is an intellectual
No,
thing.
why
so
do
you
we
have to
keep
cut it out.
saying the word?
What do we have to?
Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, if it's questionable, we should
If
have
it's
just.
questionable, let's just not say it again. Here, that's a second.
I didn't
lap.
actually.
Okay, we're
I
already
didn't
on
even
lap
say
5.
the word. I didn't even
Lap
say the word.
5. Hey, that's a good run for being 17 minutes into a podcast.
I didn't even say
no.
a real word. Is all I'm saying.
This is not good.
What?
This is not good. He keeps tapping it.
Whoa.
I bet
I'm
it's
very
stopped.
confused. No,
What?
it's not that. Oh wait, no. Okay, never mind. It's just
Did we explain
just
why
a
we're
lap.
counting our? Did we explain
we
why
did,
we're
we
doing
did.
that?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
Yeah.
to monetize ourselves in the future if we ever decide to.
I'm very confused as to what
Or ever
the
had the
lap means
opportunity.
now. It's
What?
just saying 18.27. So this whole thing might be a dud. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's
So we'll
not.
see.
It just records the time.
I don't know. We'll figure it out later. What were we even talking about now? Filibustering. Okay, Patton Oswalt did this thing. I don't know if it was in real life or it was in a movie, but he basically was talking about like his idea of like the then sequel trilogy of Star Wars, right? And like they edited it as like a filibuster, and then somebody would be trying to interrupt them, and he'd be like, "I am talking." It's like so passionate. It's so funny. I love it
Oh my
because
God.
he's just like talking about like then Luke Skywalker appears, and someone's like, "Wait, hold on." He's like, "I am speaking." He's just like,
Oh my
"Oh my
God.
god." Man, that stuff was pretty funny. What are your like all-time favorite YouTube videos? Because there are some ones
All-time
that I
favorite
just
filibusters.
no videos.
Hold on.
Luke,
Let me pull
My
up. Let me pull
all-time
up my
favorite
live video.
YouTube
Luke,
video.
we're done with
as of right
filibustering.
now.
Stop filibustering about
My
filibustering. We're done.
all-time favorite YouTube video right now is the Rick and Morty animation of that one scene.
Oh yeah, it's like
Do you know what I'm talking about?
something
So
versus the state of Georgia.
There's this court case where this one guy, it's like blah 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 versus Georgia. I don't know his name, but anyways, so the transcript of it was written out, right? You know, because they always take a transcript of the courtroom or whatever. This scene, like it's like I don't know if it's like 8-9. I don't know how long it is. It's like 7 minutes or whatever, but it goes from them having like a semi-civil conversation to just the what do you call the person who's being charged?
Plaintiff.
The defendant.
Yeah,
The defendant. The person who is
the
being
defendant.
charged.
I'm not a
Yeah.
lawyer, so I wouldn't know. So yeah,
That's
the
just
defendant
a common.
just starts,
That's not a law. That you don't have to be a lawyer. That's just a common sense thing.
Yeah, okay, Luke. Sure. Says Mr.
Come on, defendant.
Filibuster. You would know. But anyway, so yeah, he basically goes on this long rant where they just start yelling at each other, like back and forth, the defendant and the judge. And it gets so heated, and he's like, the judge is like, this is not I will not let this be a kangaroo court. And then the guy is just yelling at him with a bunch of curse words, just dropping them. And then he makes like insults about what he's gonna do to his family, and it gets really horrifying. And it's like,
No, but
it's
not
just-
only that, but then they talk about loving each other. He's like, "Yeah, I'd love to." do
Yeah, he's
you.
like,
I'd
oh
love to
yeah,
do
I
that."
bet you would. Yeah, it's just, it gets so weird. It's like, oh my God. And then of course, it's the voices of Rick and Morty playing these characters. So
Which
and it's
is the
animated
same
too.
person. It's Justin Roiland records both Rick and Morty in the show.
Yes,
So
Oh,
it's basically the
barely.
same person
but
talking
I'm just
to
saying,
himself.
yeah, it's the
but in
voice
different
of Rick and the
voices.
voice of Morty playing these
Morty.
characters.
Morty. I Rick. That's my Rick. Or that's my Rick and Morty impersonation.
That's your
Hire
Rick
me.
and Morty impression.
I think my favorite
Mm-hmm.
favorite YouTube video right now is "Are you looking at my box?" And basically, this guy, he's dressed in a completely orange jumpsuit, and he has just a box over his crotch underneath the jumpsuit. So it's just an orange cube in his crotch. And then there's another guy. There's another guy just standing across from him, and the first guy's like, "Are you looking at my box?" And he's like, "No, I was reading this book." He's like, you were looking at my box. I saw you, and he was like, no. Well, now I'm looking at it because it's weird. And yeah,
Speaking of
Yeah.
box,
it
that-
just
have you seen that
evolved from
SNL?
that.
Have you seen that SNL music video?
Speaking of
Probably
box,
not.
With
today's
Justin
episode is
Timberlake?
sponsored by Box of Awesome. No,
No.
I'm
yeah.
just kidding. Sorry.
The Justin
Hey,
Timberlake.
we're getting our practice. in.
Daniel's gonna get us sued. Daniel's getting us sued for
yeah,
that.
yeah.
What? For mentioning
No,
a
he's
company?
not. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It depends how bad this
No.
podcast goes. Because if we say a lot of racy stuff on this, like, yeah, then they'll be like, we don't want this.
Not
advertisement.
racial
Usually,
stuff. Racy.
yeah.
For
Usually
everyone
companies are
listening.
pretty happy. Yeah, usually companies are pretty happy when people talk about their product for free, without actually getting
Mhm.
sponsored. But it depends.
Actually, that's
how
not-
badly
that's not-
do you have to be.
See, that's actually not true because the companies actually have morals, and they actually feel things based on the ruling of Citizens United versus the Federal Elections Commission.
Right. They have
Oh,
emotions.
yes. It has to become
Yeah,
a
'cause
political
that means-
statement.
Yeah, that means that because Citizens United versus Federal Election Commission is the stupidest, most corrupt
Look,
mother.
politics.
Luke
Okay,
is
we're good.
he's going haywire. He's going haywire. Shut him down.
Yeah, no more.
Oh my God.
This is not a podcast to make political hot
For
takes.
people who were
That's-
confused,
that's
Luke
Fox
is
That's not a hot
upset
take.
about
You can
about
go to
a
Fox News for
ruling.
that. Yeah, you can
A
go to Fox
court
News for
ruling.
that stuff, Luke. Not here.
The ruling
even-
from 2012 that says that companies are people.
Can we wait? I have a question. Can we just appreciate the way Tucker Carlson speaks for like 5 seconds? Like it's just so.
Oh, is that
funny.
is that Mr. Smallface?
Yeah.
No, that's.
You know he was
Charlie
actually on
Kirk.
CNN, like in the early 2000s. He had a show on CNN.
Oh really?
They fired him because of
Hmm.
Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart literally demolished his career. Like, so basically the premise was the show's called Crossfire. So the premise was you had a pundit from the right and a pundit from the left, and they were to
Mhm.
duke it out in a battle of words, you know what I mean? Like fighting. And then, so I think Jon Stewart was making fun of it or something on The Daily
Mhm.
Show at the time. This is
Mhm.
like 2004 or 5. No, it was around election season of 2004 because they were talking about John Kerry. And then
Mhm.
basically Tucker Carlson has it on because he wants the ratings, right? And so he's on the show. And, like, you know, Jon Stewart, he's just being witty as usual and funny. And he's just like, why do
Mhm.
we have to fight? Like, can't we just all get along? And Tucker Carlson's like,
Mhm.
no, like, that's not how the point is. And then, like, Tucker Carlson's trying to lambast him for, like, saying certain political views or whatever. Or, like, you know, making quote-unquote contradictions. And then, like, Jon Stewart's like, yeah, I'm on a network where they have monkeys talking to each other right after me. Like, I should not be taken
Mhm.
seriously in terms of political opinions. Like, this is ridiculous. You
Right.
guys are on CNN. And then he was also saying, and then Tucker Carlson was like, man, I thought, come on, like, argue with us. And he's like, no, I'm not your monkey, man. I'm not going to dance. And then literally
Mhm.
within weeks, that show was canceled because of that one thing. Imagine
Damn.
just doing that. That's so crazy. I highly recommend anybody else watch
insane.
that YouTube video of Jon Stewart on Crossfire because it's
Mhm.
comedy. It's cringy, but it's funny. Another favorite YouTube video of mine, super iconic, is iDubbbz's tutorial on how to get a YouTube play button. Daniel, have you seen this video?
What is it?
Because I
I've
remember you
seen
have.
I've seen clips of it.
Oh,
I
it's so
probably
funny.
have.
He's
I feel
just
like,
like
Rory has shown me videos from him quite.
I think he
a lot
has,
back in the
too.
day. So,
iDubbbz
back
is
in
a very
the day.
chaotic person. I do not endorse him.
Yes.
Yeah,
because he
he's
says
really
many
funny,
things.
but he is pretty. Yeah.
I don't really watch him. I just saw that one video because I was genuinely curious on how you got a YouTube play button. And then it seemed like for real. And then I started watching the video. I'm like, oh no, this is a joke. Because he's, he's like, okay, I don't really have a silver play button. So we're going to make one. And then he gets like this like styrofoam. He starts cutting into it. And it's like really poorly done. He's like, yeah, see, this is what we do. It's like, now you get your silver spray paint. And you spray paint the styrofoam. And then he starts spray painting it. And then he puts it in his mouth.
Oh my god.
He's like starts spray painting it. He's like,
How is
he
he
spray
still
paints his mouth,
alive?
he's like,
that's
"That's-
often
that's
my
good."
question.
that's good, that's good. And then also,
How
okay, so next thing you know is, you know, the play button is very jagged, you know, like the diamond one.
Yeah, it has
So,
like the
uh,
diamond shape or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
like-
it's really jagged. So what we're gonna do those jagged. So we're gonna get some glass, and so he gets a cup out of nowhere, and then a hammer and just smacks it with like no
Smashes
warning,
it.
smashes it, and then he's like, okay, and now all you see, you put these glass marks into the styrofoam, and it'll make a jagged shape. Okay, there you go, and then like you could tell he's like clearly like it gets so much more chaotic as the video goes
Mhm.
on, and he's like, that's the tutorial, guys, enjoy.
Dude,
Man.
first of all, I don't understand how he's still alive with all of the stuff that he does. Like, and second of all, there is just so much chaos. Does he just like sit in front of his camera and do the most random thing he can think of? Is that what?
Probably. He's also done some pretty interesting things, like his content cops, which are basically like hit pieces on people that deserve it on YouTube or whatever, like with really terrible content. So I think, yeah. So he did one. It was titled "Content Cop Jake Paul," right? Like, you know, he's gonna make fun of Jake Paul, so naturally people are gonna click on it. But then he literally, as he's talking, he's like, you know, Rice Gum's a really bad dude, you know. And then like to me, he says that, oh, like I only have fame because I use his name. So I'm gonna make this video, and I titled it as "Content Cop Jake Paul." Sorry, my glaucoma. And then basically, Content Cop Jake Paul, but we're actually doing a Content Cop on Rice Gum, and it was just like a bait and switch. It was very interesting for him to do that. I was very surprised.
Most
I
people
never
would
watched
hate
it.
him for that because it's like clickbait, but it kind of works in his favor in that case because he was intentionally like normally people do clickbait intentionally, but it has a different intention behind it.
You know
Remember
my
that era
favorite
of
video.
YouTube
You know my
where
favorite
people were
video
just
ever
dissing each
made. You know my
What?
favorite
You were
video
talking-
ever made. My favorite video ever made was the government shutdown skit we did in 6th grade with Zach.
That was not a YouTube video. That was an Instagram video.
I'm just
And
no.
they
I
showed
didn't
one
say.
of the
I didn't
TikToks.
say what kind of video it was. I just said
It was like a
my
Vine.
favorite video ever made.
We made skits when we were younger for people who are
It was on a sleepover. We just did like 5 or 6 skits,
God.
and one of them, Naimur jumped up. He like jumped into frame and was like, "Guys, the government shut down." And our old friend Zach and I were like, "Wait, the government shut
Awesome.
down? Does that mean we can commit crimes and stuff?"
Yeah.
We're like, "Awesome, we can go rob a bank." And then, and then Naimur was like, "No, there's still gonna be police." And then Zach says he's on the phone. He's like, "Call off the hit." And I'm standing there with a shotgun and I'm shirtless and I have
Yeah.
like sunglasses on.
Like Rambo, yeah.
Let's just say
Yeah.
our cinematography back then, our skills were
Fantastic.
already honed. We had already
Fantastic.
honed our skills.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
were
why
like
we're. That's
five-
why.
I wrote like 5 skits in the span of like 10 minutes, and that was the product.
They're all
You could
terrible.
really tell.
And
the
remember, there was
detail
also
of
the
detail.
Enderman one. It was like
The Enderman?
you were like, "Luke, did you get the tickets to Ender's game?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And it was like no cards with pictures of Enderman from Minecraft on them. And it was like, "Luke, you're so stupid. That's an Enderman." And Namer was like, or I was like, "Dang it!" And Daniel didn't want to be the star in that one because he didn't want to say "dang it" because he was a Christian
Yeah.
little
Oh
boy.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh,
You
no,
know what's funny
okay,
though?
so-
You know what's so funny though? It's just like we were so topical back then. Like those
Yeah,
those
yeah,
types
okay,
of
I was about to
videos are
say.
what is becoming popular on TikTok right now, where it's like this poorly made, extremely like just
Yeah,
random
but they do it on
jokes that
purpose.
don't even
Like
make
you
sense.
can clearly tell.
No,
it's on
yeah, I mean,
purpose.
no, it's
Ours
obviously
was like
on
we were
purpose.
trying our hardest, and that's just how it
Sure, sure, but
went. We were doing
And
our best.
there was
quote,
also.
unquote.
Do you remember the opposite day one?
No, I don't remember that one.
no.
Someone was like, "Oh, it's
Luke,
opposite
enlighten
day,"
us.
and me and Zach just kept on reversing things. Like we said, Craft a Mine and Jangmo,
Oh
and then
yeah.
in the background,
That's
in the
probably like the
background you
weakest
heard
of them
yeah.
all.
no, and then in the background you heard "Gotta stay hydrated" really quietly because I dumped a bunch of water on Zach.
It was a
In
little
my-
Easter
yeah.
egg that he did. Yeah,
Little Easter
Ooh,
egg.
I have a fun story about Zach. I want to talk about. Can I talk about it?
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
It's a little random.
No,
Are we good?
Okay.
that's
No?
it. Okay, next
fine, we'll
topic.
move on. No. Okay, so I used to ride the bus home. I think Luke might know. I don't know. I've told this story before. but
I know.
it's
I know
not
the
to our
story you're
podcast.
talking about.
So
Yes, we all know.
we
this
were
story.
on the bus and we were almost home. We were like rounding the corner, and I was actually sitting with Zach that day because I mean we used to be pretty close friends.
Yeah.
All 4 of us or whatever. So anyways, so he's messing around with me. He has a water bottle in his hand and he's like pretending to like pour it on me. He's like holding it over my head like, "Oh, I'm going to pour it on you." And I'm like, "Please stop. Like I do not want to get soaking wet." Like, and you know, he's doing the thing where like he takes the cap off and he's like tilting the bottle so the water is getting closer and closer to the cap. And then we hit a bump in the road and it knocks it out of his hand. And all the water in the bottle goes all over me, right? And then the bus pulls to a stop, and I walk home, and I walk in the front door, and my mom's like, "Is it raining outside? Like, how did you get
Super
soaking
sunny.
wet in like the?" Yeah, it was just crazy, but it's just a funny story. It's something that I've always remembered, where it's like back then I was like, obviously at the time I was really upset. I'm like, oh, now I'm covered in water, but which obviously it really doesn't matter that much.
Fun fact about that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually started Daniel's magician career for the rest of middle school because he was
That
forever
started my
fixated on
magician
how he could stop water from moving. And he thought the only way to do that was magic.
No.
So
Yeah, and
the rest
then
of his-
whenever, and then Daniel
That's not
carried a
why.
deck of cards with him at all times, and then he
Yeah.
took attention away from everybody else because
Why
he
do,
was
I
just
feel
had
like this
decks of
podcast
cards.
is gonna.
and
I feel like this
people-
podcast
and
is gonna
people-
become.
and
Let's
people
just
were
embarrass
like-
Daniel
and
as
people
much
were
as
like-
possible.
Yeah,
on
let's
this
not
people
talk over
and
each
people
other.
were
If
like
a person's
and
gonna
people were
talk
like
one
and
at a
people were
time.
like Daniel, yeah, and I was talking to the girl I liked maybe, and then she was like, oh my god, it's Daniel, do a card trick, and I was like, okay.
Listen, Luke, when you say these things, it's funny to us, but like they can't understand. So don't like you gotta
Yeah,
you gotta actually talk.
The 15 times of repeating the same sentence just gets more and more confusing as you
Yes.
continue to repeat it.
So Daniel was
I think-
actually he was the coolest
nerd.
person out of all of us because he had a deck of cards
That
in
was
his pocket, in all of middle school.
Your sarcasm
really
is
poignant,
really
'cause
is really.
We started hanging out with girls.
And no,
back then,
no,
like,
you know
"Whoa,
how
friends
he
of
had a
the
deck of
girls?"
cards. You know how he had a deck of cards because he wore cargo shorts all the time.
That's how he could
Hey,
hold
they
it.
were-
He had a specific
Hey, I'm not
pocket
trying to say
dedicated
they were
it.
fashionable, but for a while everyone wore cargo shorts.
For a while, they weren't
Except
fashionable.
Luke.
For a while,
Except
but they
Luke,
weren't. They were
because
never.
Luke would wear practically the most comfortable possible thing he could without reaching pajamas.
I only wore jeans back then. I never wore any shorts because I was a fat kid.
I would just wear. I think I just wore shorts or like jeans in the winter, but. And then I started dressing nice for school in like high school, and then I stopped when we were seniors.
You did not dress
Just
nice in high
ended.
school. What are you talking about? By your
I wore
definition of high was
Jeans and
jeans
sweaters.
and a hoodie. Really, that's your
That's
definition of
nicer
nice.
than I dressed in middle school.
Luke, that is the bare minimum.
He meant nicer.
dressing.
He didn't mean nice.
Yeah,
Bare
nicer.
minimum. I mean, depends on where your minimum is set, man. You could.
Also,
your
that's
minimum
definitely
could be have
not.
clothes
That's
on.
definitely not
Have
the
clothes
bare
on.
minimum.
The bare minimum is having clothes, Namer.
I'd say that's better
Yeah.
than most people at our high
Agreed.
school.
Yeah, I just want to put this out there. I was in fact. I just want to get ahead of this. I was in fact into
A
magic
racist.
for quite some time. I had no. I
He wants
had
to get ahead of
I
the
had a
scandal.
magic
I-
phase,
I was
which was
that.
quite a long magic phase. But I will say I was okay at it.
Daniel did magic
okay.
face.
No, Daniel, but the thing is, you completely ruined. Daniel,
Huh?
you completely ruined how good at magic you were because you just explained to the person the trick,
Yeah.
and then so the
Right.
entire like it would just like they'd
But
be
I
like,
would learn
oh,
tricks
that's
fast
cool.
enough. I would learn tricks fast enough that it didn't matter.
No,
Yeah,
Daniel was
'cause
doing
Daniel's the
things.
smartest person out of all of us.
He is definitely the smartest person. I will be the first to agree with that.
Yeah.
Much
I
to
think
my
Luke was
jealousy.
saying it sarcastically, and then Namer agreed to it unsarcastically.
Yeah, I was
Which
No,
is
no,
so
I
funny.
was saying it. I was saying it unironically.
Oh, okay.
At least in that sense. At least
it
in the
felt
sense of, like,
it felt like Luke
memorization
was
and
making a joke,
repetition.
like because Daniel's the
No.
smartest out of all of us, and then
I'm saying at least in that sense you are in memorization and repetition.
That
I
I-
would say
I'm
so.
Learn
convinced.
magic.
I'm convinced
Yeah.
Daniel learned magic just to impress girls, and I think it low key worked. I don't know,
Specifically,
every time-
specifically the girl I liked.
well, that was not my
Maybe.
intention.
I don't-
Luke's
I don't
painting me
remember the
Look,
drama
you
back
guys
then.
do this all the time, where you paint me as a horrible person.
No. Also, let the record show,
trying-
Luke currently has a girlfriend, but he's clearly holding this grudge on Daniel from what 5 years, 6 years?
Didn't we
Like,
bring
I
this
don't
up last
understand, bro.
podcast too? We brought
No,
it
this
up
is a
last
different
podcast.
situation.
No, we
No, but
No, but
well,
we
it
brought
was
it
it's
up.
a
like Daniel,
similar
I
thing.
always saw.
we
I
brought
always
up
saw
how
you.
she liked him instead of me.
Oh yeah, Daniel's love life and you. No, this is just Daniel's magic life,
Yeah.
and not you.
Daniel's
Basically-
magic life and not you. God.
And the
Yeah.
girl I liked.
The Daniel
and
trilogy.
the girl Luke liked.
This is the middle of the Daniel trilogy. The next episode will be Daniel's
The
academic
next episode
life.
will be so we started out with like some high and low points, you know, because that's how it normally starts. And now we're hitting the ultimate low point where I had my magic phase, and then the final
isn't
one
even
will
a
be
low
like
point. It was
this'll
just-
be
it was so
the final
funny
one will be
to me.
Return of the Jedi when
No,
I
this
come
is the
back
low
and I'm
point. No,
stronger
listen,
than
this
ever.
is the low. This is the
This
low
is an
point because this is
allegory.
also when Daniel had really bad acne and had a buzz cut.
Yes.
Yeah, middle school.
I had really bad haircut too. I'm not
Yeah,
that I
this
have
is-
a good haircut now,
it was
but you know, it's
awful.
better than it was back then.
This Daniel trilogy is an allegory for the original trilogy of Star Wars.
It's actually word for word the exact same screenplay. We're just reading it in our own interpretation.
We're
Yeah,
just
Luke is Jar
translating
Jar-
it to Spanish.
Luke
We're
is
just
Jabba the
translating it through
Hutt.
every single language on Google Translate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now we're just reading it out.
Luke's Jabba the Hutt. I'm Han
Sorry,
Solo.
FTB.
Obviously.
and I'm frozen
Daniel-
Han Solo.
Yes, he's my stunt double.
I'm the stunt double for the frozen Han.
Because he
Yeah.
headlines.
Yeah, but this magic thing, it was just so funny to me because at the morning, every day at lunch, or not even lunch, but we were sitting in
I'd
the
have a deck of
cafeteria
cards
in the
out, and I'd be
mornings.
shuffling, right?
It's funnier
Yeah.
when I explain because it's from my point of view, Daniel, not yours.
Okay, got it. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Guys, spoiler alert. Sorry.
Spoiler alert.
I come at like 7:50. We're not gonna talk about phrasing there, because
I was about to say, Luke, did you hear that? That could have been so much better. Oh my
Listen,
God.
kids, if you don't understand the joke, talk to your parents. They surely will.
Oh my
It
God,
depends
that
if
was
your dad's hot or not.
so.
Anyway.
Why'd you pause there? Why did you
How
pause
many
there?
kids do you think? How many
Why
kids do
did
you
you
think are
pause
listening?
None.
Luke, don't you
How
remember
many?
from
Naimur,
the last episode?
how many people do you
Luke,
think
don't
are
you remember?
listening?
Luke, don't you
very
remember from
true.
the last episode? We're only marketing this to kids. I don't know if that was in the episode. I don't know if we cut that out or not.
No, it was. Are you talking about how
think we-
when you were uploading on YouTube, you were asking if
No,
it was
no, we
okay to
said
put
this-
on YouTube Kids?
No, we talked. No, we did talk about that. No, but maybe it was when we did that. Maybe it was when I was uploading the videos. But I thought we talked about it on the podcast where we were joking that we would only market this podcast.
I'm pretty sure
to
we
kids.
did.
I don't
Maybe.
know, guys.
99%
We
sure we
make
did.
so many jokes, we
Listen.
forget them all.
If you were listening
We're
to
just
this,
that
you're probably the only one listening to this. You viewer, how are you? You cute little animal. If you're a girl, I didn't mean to say that.
I think I need
I
to
don't
put a
like you.
warning at the beginning of this episode, like if you have
Trigger
if
warning.
you don't have ADHD, please stray away from this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know.
because
Trigger
we're
Why,
gonna
warning.
be
why are
able
we
to
interrupting
follow
each other
our-
so much today?
I think
listen,
we're having
listen.
a little
Title.
bit of slow
The
connect.
title. Listen, I think the title of this should be.
I gotta cut that, right?
I know. That's why I
can't
added.
say
it. That's why. That's why. That's why I
Why
added
do
a
we
pause.
trigger
That's why. That's why I added a pause before
No, let's not.
the
Even
word.
as a joke,
Okay.
we're not going to do that because Daniel's job
Well-
is already hard as it is. He had to get rid of magic. He had a really bad addiction to it. He'd go to rehab like for 5 months.
No,
Now
the,
he's
the,
He had,
the
he had,
problem
he had
is- the
nicotine.
solution
He
to
had
my
magic
problem-
patches.
The solution to my problem was stop wearing cargo pants, and therefore I couldn't carry around a deck of cards.
There you go.
That didn't
Solve
stop
two
it.
problems.
I don't know,
my
how dead
fashion
jeans are.
choice and my
Daniel,
magic.
when did you stop? When did you stop wearing, or when did you start wearing nice clothes to school and casual things?
It was like
Um,
sophomore year.
Well,
I'm pretty
okay,
sure.
let's
Yeah.
let's. There were phases where I wanted to dress nice, but there's the really
Uh-huh.
cringy phase where I would wear. You guys probably remember this. I think it was elementary school where I would wear button-up T-shirts over a T-shirt and shorts. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Shoot.
I did that a lot.
Yeah,
I did that a lot.
there was that
elementary
picture.
school.
Daniel,
It
you're
wasn't,
wearing
like-
that in that
it
picture
wasn't
with.
attractive. It didn't fit.
Yeah, it was
well.
not good.
Yeah.
I wore button-up
Yeah.
shirts with gym shorts as well. I remember that.
Oh my god, that's cringy, dude. Yeah. There's just so many things that I don't know.
Well, I was fat, and that was the only way I felt comfortable in my skin was wearing those type of clothes.
That's fair.
For some reason. But
I-
in middle
I-
school,
okay.
or no, in high school, you had this amazing
I-
outfit. I love it. I don't know why you haven't brought it back. Purple pants,
Mm-hmm.
purple shirt.
Purple pants.
You look like Timmy
Purple shirt.
Turner from Fairly Odd
Really,
Parents.
you like
And-
that one?
No, I'm being super sarcastic. You look absolutely
Yeah,
horrendous.
you told me.
I really
you
hope
told me
you
you
threw
hated
those-
it, and I was like, I swear you hate that outfit. So I'm so confused.
Daniel, did
why
you genuinely think I was being serious right now? This is sarcasm.
No, I knew it was okay.
Daniel,
But when you
Daniel,
said
you know
that,
what
I
I
was
hope
like,
you did after
huh.
that day? Daniel, I hope after that day you looked yourself in the mirror one last time to see how bad
I'm
that
just gonna
outfit
be
was,
honest. Okay,
and
so
then
can I tell you
burn
guys?
each
Here's what
piece of
happened. I
clothing.
wore an outfit that I thought was like colorful to school. It had a purple, like long sleeve, like just.
No, it was short sleeve. I have the video of me saying,
Daniel,
"What are you
Daniel, I'm just
doing?"
saying
Is it?
that
Are you
saying
sure it's
that
not
that
pink,
color-
then? It might be pink.
It was pink.
saying
then.
that
You
that
probably had
outfit-
pink pants in
Okay.
there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
saying that outfit is colorful is like saying a cast of all black people is diverse. It's not diverse or colorful. It's just the same color.
See, you can say
that
and it-
analogy wasn't necessary.
like Luke, that analogy, like, so you saying that fact, I'm not going to
Filibuster.
repeat it because I don't want to be synonymized with that. Like, technically, you're not wrong, but like, it just feels racist. You know what I mean? I don't
Oh my
understand.
God.
It's like things that feel racist but aren't necessarily racist. Like that was low key one of those moments just now.
I don't think.
I feel like that embodies you
Well-
as a person. You just radiate racism without actually saying anything racist. Like, I feel like that's
Hey,
just
if you say that,
person
if
you are.
are you saying that because I'm white?
Oh my
I'm just
god,
saying
he's
it 'cause
turning
it's
it into
you.
a race thing.
So
He's
you're
turning it
saying
into a race thing.
so you're saying it because I'm white.
No,
Okay, I see
have no
how it
problem
is.
with Daniel
Oh my
says
God.
anything.
I get it.
Oh
I
my
see
God,
how
it's with you.
You just said you don't like his outfits.
I didn't like that one outfit because
Because he's a gay
I
white
wanna
man.
go back
Timmy
to,
Turner.
okay, we're gonna go back to the outfit because here's what happened. I wore an outfit and then Naimur just laughed in me. Laughed in me. Laughed at me.
I went right up to
Sorry,
his belly button
phrasing.
and just laughed.
Phrasing. He laughed at me, and I was like, "All right, this outfit is going in the trash." No, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, it was. It was
Listen,
not
you
a
guys,
good
you
outfit.
guys
I just
can take that
That's
information.
you learn. You learn.
I remember
You learn something.
our
new every
friend
day.
our friend Joey had a few really bad outfits in high school too.
Yeah, but Joey
Especially
he
when we were
misses,
juniors.
but he also hits.
Especially
a lot
when we were
too.
juniors.
His outfit.
Naimur has a really bad outfit where he wore basically watermelon colors to school.
I still think that outfit was fine. I don't understand why people hated that so much. But
Naimur
I didn't
wore,
hate
like,
it.
red
Listen,
plaid
I didn't
pants,
hate
red
it.
and
I didn't
black.
hate it. I didn't hate it. I just thought it looked like a watermelon. I agreed that it looked
Yeah,
like a
he
watermelon.
wore red and black plaid pants, and they were
no,
a
no,
pretty
no,
large.
no, no. You're
checkered
making it
pattern.
sound even worse. It was mint green shorts, like short shorts from
mint
like
green
H&M.
shorts. It was
Yes, mint
something
green
with
short
plaid.
shorts from H&M. Okay, not short shorts, but they were just shorts, like khaki shorts.
I thought it was the other way
from
around.
H&M. No. Okay, if you said that, then yeah, obviously that would look terrible. But could you imagine me wearing a mint green shirt? That would be disgusting, Daniel.
Who said it
Clearly,
was
I
mint
feel like
green?
you've thought
Now
about
I'm
this.
offended again. I have worn mint green shirts.
Who said it was mint green? You just
I did because I own these pants. The pants were mint green.
Show it to
And-
us.
Okay,
Go
Naimur,
get them
whatever
right
you
now.
say.
Go get them right now.
I wore-
Go get them right now. Go put on the outfit right now. We're doing a fashion show. Welcome to the Fashion Show podcast.
And nobody except us can see.
Yeah,
exactly. It's an
Wonderful.
audio only thing, so they only hear our critique. Very nice.
Yeah.
I love the way that's
It was-
structured.
It was mint green pants with
Mm-hmm.
a plaid red shirt. It was like red and black plaid.
A watermelon's plaid.
No, yeah, exactly. Watermelon was plaid, so that's on me. I should have realized. I
Wait,
don't know. I just
What is a watermelon? Is watermelon plaid? They have the checkers.
I can't tell if he's being for real or not. I genuinely
He's not
don't
being
know.
for real. He's just being,
Of course
he's just
I'm
being
kidding.
stupid because
Yeah. I mean, I think with us, like
God,
you can
this
assess how
podcast
we
is such
act
a
to
mess.
each
This
other.
podcast is such a mess. Oh my god,
Can
dude,
we
I don't
stop
even know.
interrupting each other and maybe it'd be less of a mess, Daniel? That's me being.
Well, I'm
Stop interrupting.
sorry. There's
Can we stop
connection
interrupting
issues.
Daniel?
Anyway, okay. I mean, the thing about, you can assess after hearing these three podcasts, or the last three podcasts and this one, which I'm sure all of you have done. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure none of you
Every
have done
single person on the planet
Or
will
just-
watch these.
that. Just listening to this podcast right now and assessing how toxic our friendship is, you could think that we're bullying each other, but like, let's be real. I've made Daniel's life so much better because he threw away that shirt. Because he will
On
never
the
make
long-
that mistake
yeah.
ever again.
I will never make that mistake again. I learned something that day, and I learned that I can trust Naimur to tell me when to take off an outfit.
I'm just saying, Daniel, this should have been obvious. Monotone, not a good look. And also, Naimur, fruit, not a good look.
Monotone is not a good look. A lot of people would disagree with you. A lot of people would disagree with
But I
monotone.
agree with you.
Stop that streamer voice, Daniel. It's
I-
only
I like
funny
to think-
amongst us.
I like to think that Luke genuinely believes that his Fruit Farm shirt with whatever I don't know what pants he's wearing is like
I'm wearing
the,
Probably wearing
is
jeans.
the,
Is
Wearing
oh my
shorts.
God, Luke, put on
pinnacle
pants.
of
He's wearing
is the
no pants
pinnacle
right
of
now.
fashion. I would love him to actually
Dude,
believe that.
I went on a date today. I wore a
Mm-hmm.
sweater over this, and I wore gray pants. And then I got home and changed and took off the sweater, and now this is what I'm wearing. I put on shorts and took off the sweater, and this is what I'm wearing now. So shut the fuck
I mean,
up.
Daniel,
and
you could
also,
argue that.
and
Why
also,
don't you just-
and also, how dare you? Because our one of our closest friends, Joey Lopez, gave me this shirt for my birthday. So
Oh, really?
Shut up.
Why don't you just?
I'm
why
gonna tell
don't
him you hate his fashion sense.
Why don't you just?
I bought
not
him
wear
Among Us.
clothes?
Who's better?
You bought Luke Among Us?
No, I bought Joey
About me
Among
Among
Us.
Us?
I bought
Wait,
Joey
I'm
Among Us.
confused.
Wait,
What-
is
who's
Joey
better?
here?
That's a
Is
weird
Joey here?
comparison. All right, Joey, come on in. We're gonna invite you on in.
Luke said Joey got him the shirt, and
Yeah.
I got Joey Among Us. So it's a circle, and I did better. In
Yeah,
that part of
but
the
what did
circle.
Luke get
So
you?
Yeah, how does it
Good
connect to
question.
you?
He forgot my birthday. That's what he got me. But I forgot his birthday
After
too,
you
so it's
forgot
kind of
my
even.
birthday.
So objectively speaking, Luke is the worst. I'm just- and I'm not
Neighbor,
even so
remember-
you don't have to judge me.
Daniel
Neighbor,
gifted
remember
me
when we were
$20
sophomores?
on my
Neighbor,
birthday.
remember when we
I
were
didn't even ask
sophomores?
I gifted you $20 out of pity, dude. You were out of a job. No, I'm just
Neighbor,
Yeah,
remember when
I
we were
was out of a
sophomores
job.
and you didn't wish me a happy birthday for like 10 days after my birthday, and then on October 12th I wished you a happy birthday?
No, you didn't. No,
Yeah,
you didn't.
I did.
No, I wished it to you a day later. I was like, happy birthday, bro.
That's
My
right.
bad.
Yeah.
And then you were like, oh, it's a day late. I was like, oh, my bad, dude. Because here's the thing. I don't use Facebook. I don't put people's birthdays in my calendar because no one deserves that much attention from me, just ever. And like, the days go by.
I love that
forgot my
thought. I
mom's
love that
birthday
thought
this
process
year.
of, am I gonna say this extremely selfish thing on the podcast for everyone to hear and make them think
I'm being
that I
sarcastic.
am No, I know you're being sarcastic. It's a joke, but
But-
it's so funny because so many people will not catch our sarcasm. I think this podcast
Yeah,
is gonna
I'm pretty
make
good at
people
being
think
sarcastic,
we're horrible
I'd say.
people.
Yeah,
I'd
we're
say
like,
we
I don't know.
are.
Some people would argue good sarcasm is if you know it's sarcasm, because if you don't know it's sarcasm, then it's just uncomfortable.
Luke, listen.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot both my
But
mom
maybe
and
not.
dad's birthday this year. You are nothing to me. Okay? Remember that.
God. Jesus, dude. Are you?
Actually-
Is he bragging about that? I'm so confused right now.
That was so embarrassing, man. And my mom,
really
she's like,
embarrassing.
she acts like super toxic when it comes to that stuff. She like, she wants to be like well treated on her birthday and things
Yeah.
like that. Like she like values that.
Now
I knew her birthday.
You're putting the blame on her, dude. It's like, oh, she acts so
No. No, like I know the day of her
Acts.
birthday. Like I'm not like that type of person where I don't know my parents' birthday.
Oh, you just forgot it was
didn't-
coming up. Yeah. No, I have.
I just didn't know
had
it
the
was
same
that
thing.
day. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because then she
Yeah.
calls me that night in her room, right? And she's like, "Did you forget something today?" I was like, "No. Did I do it correctly?" And she's like, "Do you not know what today is?" I'm like, "What is today?" She's like, "Do you not know what today is?" And she repeats it like 5 more times. And I'm like, "Oh, it's your birthday." And she's like, "Wow, you forgot. This is why you're my least favorite
Wow.
son." And then she hung up.
Can I say this real
Out
quick?
of two
I don't
sons.
have an attachment to
Yeah.
dates. I do not have attachment to dates. If somebody wishes me a birthday 5 days early, 10 days late, I don't have an attachment to the exact date of my birth. And I know I probably should because it's like, oh, that's when you always had birthdays as kids. But for me, it's like just the act of saying that. It's like, I'm going to be a horrible person to date in the future. And I already am, but I will, because
Agreed.
it's like, to me, there's a lot of things about just like dating or relationships or even just like friendships where it's just like certain things that like are considered normal that I'm just like, that seems like ridiculous. Like
Like making
so,
it official.
for example, yeah, I was gonna say this one. This is so strange to me. If you're dating somebody for long enough, then you have to ask them if you want to make it official, which I guess makes sense in hindsight.
depends
But
on
I
the
had this
relationship.
experience where we were like 3 months. I don't know how many months into a relationship with someone, but
I think it was about because you guys started dating at the end of
It was how
our
many?
sophomore year.
Were you guys?
You guys started
already
dating at the
say
end
I
of our
love you?
sophomore year, and you were official by the time we started marching band. So it must have been about 2 months.
So did you
Okay,
guys
so-
already say I love you at that point? I think you did,
yes, we had. So we had already
Yeah,
done like
so-
we're like I was just so confused.
And he had already
because there was
he had already
one day
he had,
here-
he had
here's
already
the story,
he had
guys.
already
Here's the-
squeezed her hand
Nope,
and cut off the
stop,
circulation.
Stop.
squeezed
stop.
her hand. He said squeezed her hand and cut off the circulation. He was talking about hand holding. I know what it sounded like, Naimur.
It's called a hand job.
You have to acknowledge that was so funny, man. That is such a good joke. How did
Don't
you
cut that
get-
out, please.
I'm not gonna
Don't
cut that one out. That one is so funny. Oh my god,
Dude, my audio.
Luke. Oh my god, man. Okay, that one's going in the records as one of those. Okay, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna tell the story of what happened. I show up to like not really
Yeah.
school because we were in marching band, but I show up to marching band and we had like really long marching band days. So it wasn't like 2 hours one day. It was basically like a full day of school, but
I think that was one
school
of our
hadn't started
12
yet.
one of our 8 dates.
Yeah, or 8-hour days. So
12-hour days. 8 to 8.
or sorry, 12-hour days, 8 to 8.
Idiot.
But you had breaks.
Can't we even do math?
Anyways, so I get
Luke,
to.
I'm
I
glad you
get
brought this
to
up because
school.
this story is so pinnacle on the amount of time you guys practiced in band. Thank
Yeah,
you so much for
I know.
clarifying.
Well, I was just
because
just adding
without
to the fact
you,
that
the fact that I now know it's a 12-hour day and not an 8-hour day, like I thank you, truly, because
Yeah.
now I
course,
just feel
of
so
course.
enlightened in life.
now
and this really would have
he
broken.
understands the story on such a deeper context. Okay,
Because thank you. Because if it was an 8-hour day, this entire story would be useless to me.
this,
But thank you for
this story
it being a
would
12-hour day.
Okay, so I show up and my girlfriend at the time is acting really weird. Like doesn't really want to talk to me that much. blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, she's just like kind of being.
Daniel's like the usual. She doesn't want to talk to me. Yada yada yada.
She was just kind of being like rude and off-putting. It started becoming that, and it's like, I can understand because she was upset, so I get that. I just didn't agree with the reason.
It's just a
that she was
ridiculous
upset.
thing to
He
be
was just
upset
used to it
about.
at that point. He was just used
Especially,
to it. At that point.
no,
He's like, why is
it's
she-
a ridiculous thing to be upset about, especially at that level.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So
the
basically,
level that she basically ghosted him for a day.
yeah, she was
continue.
like kind of ghosting me for a day, and then somebody else, a friend of mine, who didn't really know her that well, so I was kind of surprised about that. I think it was, oh, I'm not gonna say names, but anyways, comes up to me and it's like, have you noticed that your girlfriend's been upset all day? And it's like, yeah, and she won't tell me why. I've asked her multiple times. That's the thing that ticked me off the most. If you won't tell somebody why you're upset, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But
The trait of a man. You hear that, ladies? Doesn't understand you at all.
yeah, I just didn't understand.
Disgusting animal.
I,
How dare you?
So, but
Daniel?
anyways, so then they're like, oh, I can't believe you haven't figured it out yet. It's like, have you asked her if you guys want to be official yet? And I'm like, I was like, I was literally taken aback, shocked. Like, I was like, are we not already? I'm so confused. Like, and it's like, well, did you ask her? And I was like, we've been like going on dates regularly for like 2 months now. Like, I'm so confused. And then I was like, I was just dumbfounded. So anyways, now I was put in a position where I was being forced to do this, where it's like, well, you need to ask her. And that made me upset, where I was like, I'm off put now, because it's like, I'm upset that she didn't think that we were already like on an official level. So then I was super petty the rest of the day, where I was just like, no, I'm not going to do it. It was just this horrible situation where it's like, we were just, yeah.
That's
Anyways,
very
this story's going
My
nowhere.
opinion on
you
that
could see
story.
what's happening.
One. I think the 12-hour day made a huge difference in that factor.
Yeah,
Two.
Really did it.
it really
Really
added
did.
the context necessary
Oh,
for
yeah.
people to
No,
Maybe if it was an
Opinion.
8-hour day, she
Sure.
wouldn't have been upset. That's all I'm saying.
Right, exactly.
But,
yeah.
Never
But-
know.
That was actually
That's all I'm saying.
Two, I like typically I would probably have been on her side, but the fact of the matter is you guys already had said I love you. So I feel like that's like
Yeah.
a pretty relationshipy thing. Like, okay, yeah,
Okay,
we're clearly
see-
dating.
sure. Yeah.
I'm on Daniel's side, except for the fact that you should clarify that you are dating, but you shouldn't get upset that it hasn't happened yet. If you're upset it hasn't happened yet, just ask yourself. It's 2020. Come on.
That's what I was confused about, because it was like, it was almost like this ritual thing where it's like, oh, you haven't done this yet, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was like,
It has to be the man to do it.
yeah, exactly. I was like, if you're so
Not always,
exactly
but-
like what Luke's saying, if you're so worried about it, just ask.
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
that's
this
what
was
you-
Daniel's motive. He
I
just
don't know.
didn't want.
And I'm
he
not
wanted
trying to. By the way, I'm
equality.
not trying to. I
And
know
this is
gonna
and
sound
this
mean.
is
I-
and this is the beginning of Daniel's manifesto against women's suffrage.
Hold on.
Women.
Hold on.
Yeah, against
Can I just
women.
say this? I want to get this out there. I'm not trying to, like, paint this person in a horrible light. Like, we were just at each other's, not at each other's throats, but we were, like, at odds
That's
with
what
each
she
other quite a lot in
said.
our relationship. Jesus
And that's why
Christ,
you broke.
man.
Oh my god.
No, it was just like,
Luke,
we
you
just
have
had,
no
like, poor
right to
communication
get mad at me
skills, a
for
lot of
saying
that stuff. We learned a lot from that relationship. I'm not trying to say, like, she was wrong about everything. Like, she was right about a lot of things. I just was, like, petty as
Listen,
well.
Daniel,
And
listen,
so it
Daniel.
just,
This
you know,
is
I'm
one
not
of
trying to
the-
be mean to them. Yeah.
Daniel, you usually in a relationship you're supposed to affirm, yo, what are we?
Yeah.
You know, like
And I learned that.
dating.
I learned that.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
That's what-
I'm
that's
saying
what I
Daniel
learned.
is
You have to
wrong.
learn
Daniel
that
is
somehow.
wrong
I
in
didn't
that
learn that
sense,
until-
but she was taking it to an extreme.
Well, but
Daniel's
I'd like to
a
point out, I'm
natural
not necessarily
monogamist, man.
wrong. I literally didn't know that was something you're supposed to do.
yeah.
Because, like, it's not like they do dating 101. Okay, so the first step you have to do is ask the person out on a date. And if they say yes, then you take them out on a date. Okay, step
See-
number
okay,
two,
see why-
you have to
you know why
officialize
Daniel
that
is
date,
having-
blah, blah, blah. Nobody told me that. Nobody took me through a dating 101.
okay, here's
You know
also
why
the
Daniel
thing,
is
though,
having
Daniel.
trouble? You know why Daniel is having trouble understanding this? Because he's Canadian. Canadians are socialist. Polygamy.
No,
That
Just
was a
heavy no
jump.
on that.
That was a jump, Luke.
Heavy no on that.
Let's
Anyway.
let's stick to
I think
trigonometry.
the issue
That was
was
a stupid joke. I'm sorry.
the,
Yes, go ahead.
the issue
Cosine.
was your last. The issue was the issue. The issue was
Mhm.
again the issue.
What was the issue?
I'm gonna keep.
What was the
Oh,
issue?
are you
Okay,
gonna
thank
tell
you,
us?
Luke. So the issue was that. I'm not gonna say it again. Basically, the problem with your. Your
What was
relationship.
the issue?
The problem was sorry. What was the problem, Namer? We're a little
The issue
loony.
was
I don't. What
that-
time is it?
It's not
It's
even 12
midnight.
yet. I don't
It's
understand
midnight,
why
yeah.
we're this way.
Oh my god!
You know when I
dude.
woke up today?
This podcast is gonna
This
end
is-
horribly.
We
Uh-huh.
recorded this on a Sunday. Do you know? Sorry to date it. I'm sorry. This entire podcast is ruined now. But record this on Sunday. You know when I woke up today? 2 p.m. So
You know when I woke up today? 8 p.m.
that's great.
Doubt it, bro. Doubt it. I think
I slept. I slept from. Yeah.
I woke up at 8:30 or something. A.m.
The
not
real
PM.
question is, Daniel, was
Like
today
Luke.
a 12-hour day or was it an 8-hour day?
Well, so far it's looking like it's gonna be a 12-hour day.
Oh.
Yeah.
maybe.
More than that, actually. We've already past the 12-hour point.
Well,
But Daniel-
past it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to say the phrase I said like 4 different times again. This time I do
I'm
not
not
want
gonna
you to
laugh. I
laugh.
won't laugh.
Because
I promise I won't.
I will actually be like saying a statement that will-
You're actually gonna say
talk.
the sentence this time.
Yes. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
going to say
I
the
won't
phrase.
laugh. Mm-hmm.
I think it's a 4-word
Go ahead.
phrase. And I don't want to hear any laughter whatsoever when I say this.
I'm not gonna laugh.
Okay.
I'm not gonna laugh.
Why are you
I'm
smiling?
Three-word phrase.
smiling. I might smile. I'm smiling though because I'm happy because I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Okay. The issue was. Okay, I laughed. The issue was that your
Wait,
last
you told
relationship-
Daniel not to
yourself,
laugh.
or was that? Did you
Yeah,
mute
we
yourself,
probably
or was
muted
that?
him.
No, I didn't mean myself.
No, he was just fake laughing. Okay, I was like, he looked like he was laughing so hard, and I was like, I can't hear any of it.
So, yeah.
Just say what the
The-
issue was, man.
Your last relationship before this one was
Mhm.
1, it was like 2 years, and 2, like it wasn't. I don't know. It was like a natural formation because you guys were literally on the talking stage for like a year almost at that point. It felt like.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
if we're being honest, I shipped you and the first girlfriend more than I shipped you and the second girlfriend, even though I helped you and the second girlfriend get together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I
What's
mean,
even
you know.
crazier is that the first girlfriend was during a span of an 8-hour day. So I think that also made a difference too.
Huge difference.
I'm gonna
Massive
beat this
difference.
joke.
Oh,
until it's
I
dead.
sorry, the joke went over my head. I was like, how does that? I'm so confused. What does an 8-hour day have to
Such a-
do with it? And then I was like,
it's just
oh, it's a
stupid joke.
callback to the stupid joke that we keep referencing. It's not even
Hey, the title of this podcast will be the 12-hour day. How about that? Anyway.
a 12-hour day keeps the doctor away. Anyways, so yeah,
Actually,
I
think in
I
that
wanna
case
make a
it might be
comment
an
on
8-hour
this.
day.
We had
Go ahead.
we basically were friends for so long before I started dating my first girlfriend. So
Mhm.
it was really kind of like just this natural like over time thing where it's like there was never a question. Well, maybe towards the end, but there was never really a question about like where we were in our like
Well,
relationship.
also, she wasn't technically.
I know.
Oh
allowed
yeah,
to
and
date.
then she broke up, and then she broke my knee with a lead pipe, and then you had to break up, and you know, it was
she
a whole
broke
thing.
my
That's not
lead.
what
She
I-
broke my lead pipe with a knee. That's you almost said something like that.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But the thing was, like, she wasn't allowed to date at that point. So you guys were like in the talking stage. So then when she
Yeah.
like she wasn't allowed to date until she was 16, right? Like that was her parents' rule.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Like whatever. And then
Mhm.
so when she did
Mhm.
turn 16, like you guys were dating. So it's like
It was like the
you
day
guys
she
were,
turned
like,
16, right?
official. Yeah. So you guys were just like,
Yeah.
we're official now, yay! So I guess you didn't really
Yay.
need that at that point because you guys were talking
There
for
were
like a year or
fireworks.
two prior.
Yeah.
Not talking, but you guys were like basically a thing. I hate this terminology. It's such like bureaucracy in like relationships. It's so pointless, but like whatever.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Yeah.
what you have to do because it's such a. Another thing that boggles my mind about relationships is that you can go from literally spending every moment of every day talking to her, like cuddling,
Or
maybe not
him.
cuddling, but like just always hanging out, always being next
hey,
to
we
each
gotta
other.
keep this podcast PG, all right?
It is PG. Finding Nemo
No, I'm
PG.
joking.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
joking.
Anyway,
Kind of
like yeah, you guys could literally want to spend every part of the day each other, tell each other everything. You go from that to literally, I never want to see your face again in the span of like a month.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? That's crazy to me. But like with our friendships, we've said things to each other. We've been mean to each other, and we're still here.
And we've had
Like,
periods
For the
where
record,
we've
for the
not
record,
been
mean,
friends for
mean
years
as
at
in
a
like,
time.
mean as in like, not as Naimur was saying earlier. Mean as in like we're bantering, but he's talking about mean right now as in maliciously, like malicious mean, like
Yeah,
malicious,
malicious.
Yeah.
like
malicious.
saying something we shouldn't say.
Like we've
but-
genuinely
like talking
like
about, like talking about how
I think-
Daniel one time ate an entire microphone and we had to fucking replace it.
Yeah.
that's a curse word, and yeah,
Have you been
Ah,
tracking
curse.
it?
We haven't said
partially.
much. I don't
Partially.
think we have.
Or Namer hasn't caught much.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Namer, what were you
Probably
saying?
the former or the latter.
I'm also confused. Why would I eat a microphone, Luke? That joke really didn't land with me.
Not only that, why would you eat an effing microphone? Why? I don't understand the difference.
Right.
Is
No,
the
it's
effing
microphone-
much more tastier?
No, that was the
it's
brand-
listen.
no, that was the
listen, you'll have
brand of
to
the
mark
microphone.
this down. You'll have to mark it down, but it's
No,
it's
no,
the
no, no,
microphone
no, no,
that they
no,
use
no,
to
no,
record.
No, no.
Oh,
No,
why'd you
that's
say
the
it
end
if we
of
were
that.
gonna have
We're
to
done.
mark it down and cut it?
I warned you.
But
Yeah,
the
that
thing
doesn't
is,
make it
the whole
better. That
point
just adds.
of this premise is so that Daniel does not have to edit anymore. He struggled so hard with his magic
Bears.
addiction.
Yeah.
I do not want him to get an editing addiction. I just
Oh,
don't
I already
want it.
have
You're
an
right.
editing.
I didn't.
addiction.
No, listen. I didn't realize this. I'm sorry. I didn't
It's
realize
okay,
it was
it's
an
okay.
addiction thing.
It's okay.
Sorry,
Anyway,
next
I'm gonna
time-
say every
next
single
time-
curse word in that book.
No, next time.
Anyways, I just pulled up every single curse word on my phone and I'm gonna read them out.
Hold on. What the?
Luke, stop
Hold on.
recording.
Hold on. I don't know what's going on. What is happening?
What?
Is it recording?
Sorry. No, it is It's recording. It's just. I opened.
It's
do y'all
reporting me to
remember
the. It's reporting me to the IRS. What's my
It's
computer doing? Oh my
reporting
god.
No, it's recording, but I pulled up the. Are you looking at my box video? To talk
Starts
about it,
playing.
and then it just started. Yeah, it just started playing all of a sudden.
It's
I
like,
was really confused.
hold on, guys, stop. The Prince of Nigeria just emailed me. I gotta take this.
The Prince of Nigeria.
That joke's probably gonna
It's
get
out
really
of
old
Nigerian
on
Prince.
time, right?
Probably already is.
already
Do you think
is.
kids today know what it is? Know what that is?
Yeah, I don't think so. It's
No.
like the.
Did you know? Oh, this is a strange one to talk about. Kids nowadays don't do this for when they're calling on the phone. They don't do like the two fingers sticking out.
What do they do?
like
Just
a
this?
flat hand up against their
Oh,
ear.
that's so
Because
so
it's like
dumb.
cell phone.
That's so dumb.
Like, hi, I'm
Yeah,
calling.
that is
yeah,
weird.
it's
Name
well,
Regina. No,
also-
you probably did actually. Never mind.
What?
I was gonna say, did you ever have a landline? But I know you did.
I still have a landline at my house.
You still have a landline?
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't
Hmm.
know that.
'Cause
Next,
it's
you're gonna say
cheaper
you
to
still have
it.
cable.
yeah. I was about to say, do you guys still have cable?
Yes.
Man, you are
all a
outdated,
bundle.
man.
No, it's a bundle because my parents. It's cheaper
Sure,
to
but-
have it than to not. So.
That's definitely not the case.
Barely how it works.
Well, also because we have
How does
DirecTV,
Namer?
we
How
have
do you think
unlimited
money
data.
works?
No,
It's
like
cheaper if we spend more money on it. No, we're
this
just
is
because,
no. Listen, this is
yeah.
how conservatives view economics.
honestly, yeah. Just don't buy it then. Oh my god.
You don't need
But-
food.
Yeah, like if you want to save money, then don't spend. That's
Guys,
simple.
listen.
Exactly.
Today, as of today, Ronald Reagan is still in hell, waiting for heaven to trickle down.
Oh, again, why are we doing
Yeah.
these such like hot takes, political hot takes? I don't understand this, man.
Because
Where's this
Ronald
coming
Reagan
from?
was a crappy person.
He was strong.
that's on
He had some good
period.
jokes.
All right. Luke just
Doesn't
Luke
mean he
just
was a good
alienated-
person.
Luke just alienated an entire demographic of people over 90.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan loves.
How do you
kidding.
think?
I don't actually
Namer,
know
when,
how-
Daniel, when do you think Ronald
No,
Reagan
I
was
know I
president?
did my math wrong. I know I did my math wrong on
It
that
was
one.
the 80s.
Stop.
Luke,
I
you just
know,
completely lost the entire generation of 30-year-olds right now. Like I can't believe you.
See, the thing is,
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan was one of the worst modern presidents we've had.
But
Probably second
Well, he
only
got
to
us
was
out
one.
of
better
Vietnam.
under him,
Nope, that was
Yeah.
Nixon.
and he collectively
Nope, that was
made a lot
Nixon.
of America.
I got
hate
that
gay
one wrong.
people.
How did I get that one wrong too, man? It's like I
Oh.
forgot history class. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
Luke, he collectively
Reagan
made
got us out
America
of
hate gay
Vietnam?
people. Like he made
And
the United
African
States
Americans.
united against that. That too,
And African
and
Americans.
crack. He made
Oh,
them all
didn't he?
hate
Did he
crack.
do the war on drugs? No, that was.
Yeah, he did that.
No,
Why-
he started it.
Oh, he
That
did.
was Reagan.
Okay, I thought I was.
Nixon.
getting it
See,
wrong.
Nixon kind of did it, but then Reagan started.
Nixon
the
was
second
law
one.
and order. Nixon was law and order, and then Reagan
Yeah.
did war and
War on drugs specifically. Yeah.
Which, by the way, for people who don't know, there's a quote of one of his top advisors or something saying they literally started the war on drugs because you couldn't make being African American in the U.S. illegal anymore because of the
Or hippie,
Um,
or being a hippie.
or being a hippie illegal
Yeah.
anymore. So what they did was they made drugs illegal so that they could put hippies and African Americans in jail. It's a really
Yeah.
horrible quote, but he completely admitted it.
Well, it's a
and-
good quote,
yeah.
but it's a horrible thing to say.
No, it's a good quote
Yeah.
because it like acknowledges that the system is corrupt.
See, the
And
thing
it's
is, people,
self-aware
like-
in that it's corrupt, but it's not a good.
Mhm.
Yeah. I guess this is the serious part of our podcast. I think the whole point is like for some people, like when they think like, like such and such person isn't a racist. They haven't explicitly said they hate a race, so they're not
Yeah.
racist.
Mhm.
But like the thing is, you have to like it's a lot of people don't understand the nuance to it. It's like it doesn't necessarily mean if they hate it, but like you need to judge their actions. You need to judge the effects it has on
Yeah.
things.
Right, because actions
There
do
is
speak
a-
louder than
Yeah.
words, right? So it's like everyone
Actions
should
do
know
speak louder,
that.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
can tell if someone is treating a race of people really poorly just because they said they don't hate that race. Does it mean that they're not racist? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like to say America isn't racist is
Mhm.
very tone deaf because there's nothing in the Constitution that says that a certain race is worse or like
Right.
a certain race sucks or anything like
Yeah.
that. But
Is-
there are
racism
consequences.
is illegal, but there's nothing like
Yeah, there are consequences in the U.S. or of things in the U.S. Constitution that have hit races, like different races, or like disproportionately to other ones.
Mhm.
So that in of itself is a racist thing. Like an interesting
Well,
point
also
I think of
about
it is
this. Sorry, I just want to interject because it adds on to what you were just saying. People are saying, well, there's no racism in America today because racism is illegal. That's like saying murder is illegal, so we don't see murder in the U.S. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we still do. It
ridiculous.
still exists. Yeah, sure, it's illegal, but that doesn't mean it's gone yet. We haven't exterminated.
I love when
this horrible-
Republicans.
Yeah,
I love when Republicans say that they're the party of Lincoln and that the Democrats are the ones that.
well, it's not
would want
Republicans. It's
slaves
just
to
stupid
return.
people that say that.
Okay, but
Well,
stupid people who are Republicans, but then
they
they're
don't
like
want to
then
acknowledge the
but then
party
but then
switch.
they also don't acknowledge. Sorry, which party does the Ku Klux Klan support again? Which one?
Right
Right.
now.
Today,
Yes,
today,
yeah,
right
yeah.
now, which one does it? Who does the Ku Klux Klan support?
Well, I
'Cause
hate
it's
the
your
people
party.
again. I hate the people. They're like that's false. The parties have never switched. You guys just can't admit that you guys are racist.
Yeah, I don't
Or
understand that.
so
That seems like
stupid.
ridiculous to
Yeah.
me.
But,
You
like,
can literally
it's
see a
not-
trend in policies that
Yeah.
aligns with a party switch where, oh yeah, the Democrats were promoting these types of policies that were like considered conservative.
Yeah,
And
like
then
there
all
wasn't
of
a
sudden-
set date. There wasn't a set date where FDR
Yeah.
talked to a bunch of Republican leaders and was like, "Okay, we're switching parties right now." Like that obviously
Yes,
didn't.
it was
happen.
a very nuanced like
It was a nuance and it took
progression.
time to happen.
yeah.
Because also,
Yeah.
what's worse is theoretically the whole reason why Republicans basically became what they are now, like shifting towards the democratic values of the time, was because, once they got rid of slavery, they also saw like Northerners that were Republicans started making a lot of money, and they kind of didn't want to. They cared more about the money than they truly cared about the social issues. So that's why there was kind of a flip. Because Republicans weren't necessarily trying to,
Okay, well that's
continue
not
these social
that's,
issues. Of
That's kind of
progression.
true, but the main thing was the New Deal, like someone said earlier, and
Well, the New Deal was the thing
Civil
that
Rights
shifted.
Act. No, the Civil Rights Act was the biggest one because Lyndon B. Johnson was a Democrat, and all the racist Democrats were like, "Hey, wait, we can't support this," so they were like,
Well, that was Democrats in the
"Okay,
South.
well, let's join the
not
Republican
racist,
Party
yeah.
now." No, it was all Democrats, or
Yeah, in
like
the
racist
South, though.
Democrats who.
In the South.
I mean, yeah, but most of the
But
racist Democrats were
most
in the
of the
South.
Democrats were in the South. Yeah.
But then,
Yeah, I mean,
and then the
there's a
Republicans
quote.
were like, "Wait, we don't want to be in the same party as these racists," so they switched parties, and so they became the Democrats.
It's like the Spider-Man meme. Spider-Man meme. Speaking of Spider-Man, how do you guys? Can I transition away from politics because we could talk. about
Okay.
Multiverse?
Have you
The
guys
multiverse?
heard they're gonna have
Filibuster.
multiple Spider-Mans?
I have.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm-
know
I'm
how I feel.
I
very
also heard-
curious. what's
I have
gonna
no
happen.
attachment
also
to the
heard
other
that-
Spider-Mans, so I don't feel like it's gonna be that impactful to me.
I also
agree.
heard
I
that
don't
Charlie
think it will be
Cox
either.
will be coming back as
Doctor.
Daredevil in that. I'm very
Oh,
excited for
okay,
that.
sorry. I
I'm
heard they're
extremely
bringing back the
excited
guy
for
who
that.
played
Strange,
Doctor
idiot.
Octopus.
Dr.
Doctor-
Doc
Doc
Ock.
Ock.
I don't know who
Doc
that
Ock,
is.
yeah.
I don't know who played him.
And I don't
Octavius,
know-
he was the villain
Yeah.
in
No,
Yeah.
he knows
The,
who.
No,
that
we
is.
know-
He doesn't
I know
know who
who
the
they were-
actor is.
Alfred
Yeah.
Molina is the actor's name.
Yes, he's bringing.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're bringing that back, which I'm so pumped, dude. I love the new Spider-Man movies so much. Like they're
Those
just.
are great.
I'm kind of worried.
I haven't
I
seen
like-
the old ones. I feel like I should go back, but supposedly they're only okay. Some of them.
The Raimi
Apparently
ones
Spider-Man
are good,
2 is
but
really, really good.
I don't like
Like
the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's okay. I remember most of the beats, but
Spider-Man 2 is supposedly the best of the three in the series
yeah,
of three.
it
in the
is
same
for
Raimi
sure.
trilogy, yeah.
Mhm.
Because what do you call it? Doc Ock is like a really good villain in that, like just his origin story
Yeah.
and everything. It's
Mhm.
like it's
Yeah.
generally well crafted. So there's a lot of good
And
stuff. in
also,
that.
Spider-Man himself's character progression is really good in that as well.
Yeah, but Tobey Maguire sucks. So I'm very curious to see how he's going to act in. No, okay, Tobey Maguire, the actor, doesn't suck. Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker sucks. Like, he's
Mhm.
not a good Peter Parker.
No, he wasn't. He was good.
No,
I liked
he's
him in
not. The whole point of
Well, why do you say that?
Spider-Man is to be he's like super quippy, witty against the bad guys. Like, you suck. Oh man, you're making this really hard for me. Just stop, and we could all be friends or whatever. Like, he's
When
just
was
like
the last
being
time
really
you
funny.
watched those movies, Namer? Because he
It
definitely was like that.
was super cringy.
Maybe his
Tobey Maguire?
maybe his dialogue was that, Luke, but it's kind of like, how did he play that role? I've never
It just
seen it,
wasn't
so I can't judge
natural,
it, but
you
I
know?
have heard that it might not be.
And then like the problem with what's his face?
But I don't know.
The
A lot of
other
people
one.
have.
Who is the other dude's name? I forgot his name.
It starts
The British
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. Yeah.
Does start with
The problem with him is they just made him seem
He was too
cool,
attractive
which is
to be Peter Parker. Yeah.
no, but he acted
He was-
too cool.
He was just too.
Yes.
Yeah.
and he was a
like-
jerk. He was just a jerk.
Yeah.
He was like really like kind of like a
No, I agree.
super extra jerk.
So Tobey Maguire wasn't cool enough to be Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield was too cool to be Peter Parker.
Too cool. And I think Tom Holland is right in the middle.
He's
Yeah,
right
I
in the
think
middle.
so.
He's
That's my
perfect.
opinion.
He's
Though. I
perfect
think it's
with
also just the
everything, yeah.
writing. It's just the storyline in the new ones is just like.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, but the thing I'm worried about this whole multiverse thing is because one, the whole point of the multiverse, right, is because of Miles Morales. But I don't think that's really needed for anything, right? But I just feel like this is something that takes more time to explain, like the multiverse, because they're also.
Well, I
apparently
think
gonna
they're
have Miles
introducing.
Morales
I think
in
they're.
there.
I think they're introducing it in the new Doctor Strange movie, in the next Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
Is when the multiverse
Yeah,
will happen.
the multiverse thing
But
is
then-
fine. Because
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, they already did time travel stuff like
I think
that.
enough people know about it nowadays. Just from Spider-Man Into the
It
Spider-Verse.
doesn't seem earned
from
though.
the
You
new-
know what I mean? It just seems like they're cashing in on the Into the Spider-Verse hype.
Well, we don't. Well, no, we don't know what's going to happen with Doctor Strange because that movie has been announced since the first one came out.
Apparently, it's supposed
The
to be a
second
horror
one.
movie, so that's gonna be interesting. To
Yeah.
That's dope.
see.
I hope they
PG-13
don't ruin
horror
it
movie.
like they did with the weird Mutants movie that was supposed to be a horror movie, and then it
Well,
turned
Disney
into
didn't
What
make that.
Mutants
weird
movie?
teen.
The
What
New
weird
Mutants?
Mutants movie? Oh,
The
Yeah, no,
Mutants.
that wasn't-
I
that
don't know
was
if it was
Fox,
called
right?
Mutants or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was
No,
20th
it was
Century
who
Fox.
made it.
you mean yeah?
That was
Okay.
20th Century
Yeah.
Fox. So
Anyways, it
Yeah.
was it looked good at first, but then it just it,
we'll see.
the
Disney
writing.
announced a crap ton of things on.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, no,
I'm
they
excited,
announced a
dude.
lot.
I'm excited,
Yeah.
man.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. We'll see.
I'm
I just
worried.
feel
I'm
like
most
it's lost
excited-
its
Bad.
luster.
I'm most excited for the Kenobi TV series, Obi-Wan Kenobi TV
That does
series.
seem pretty cool, especially because they're bringing back
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader.
Yeah, to play Darth
That's gonna be
Vader.
very
Yeah,
interesting.
that's dope.
So that'll be cool.
hmm
And Ewan McGregor's gonna be in it, so obviously that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
Neil
that
McGregor is
Disney
really
Fire.
cool. He's a really good actor.
But
It's a
also
shame
those
that-
Disney Plus TV shows,
Mhm.
like for Marvel, like
Uh-huh.
WandaVision
The Marvel
and
ones
the
look
Loki
good
one.
too. The
They're-
Loki
they're-
one looked
they have
good,
this-
and the Winter
Captain-
Soldier with Falcon.
Captain Marvel, or
Did you,
no, Captain
did you guys
America.
hear
and
about?
Winter
Did you
Soldier.
guys hear about Star
Yeah.
Wars Visions?
Star Wars
I
what?
think so.
Star Wars
Wars
Visions.
Origins?
Supposedly, it takes place.
Oh,
No,
Visions.
Visions. I think it's Visions.
What is it?
Takes place over 25,000 years of Star Wars history, and it's like
Oh.
mini films, like mini short films, or like the episodes. It's like it's episodic, but they're supposed to be like longer episodes. And supposedly,
It's like a docu.
this is what I heard, but this could be completely wrong. It's just like it's I don't know if it's an anime, but it's like it's in the style of like each episode's a different style, and they're all directed by like different. I don't know. It sounded
I did
really
hear-
cool because first of all, it's like 25,000 of years of Star Wars history. That's really cool. Yeah, blah blah blah.
I did hear
Go
that they
ahead.
were doing an Old Republic series, not Knights of the Old Republic, but a series set in the Old Republic.
Man.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
There was supposed to be a movie.
I'm
They
excited
were
for
like
that.
the creator or the writers of the Game of Thrones TV show were signed on to do movies, and it was rumored that they were going to do the Old Republic like era. I was so
Yeah.
excited for that because it seems such an interesting time period. But
Yeah.
then they kind of got didn't they quit, right? Because they just didn't have the same.
They were
creative vision?
fired. They were fired.
They were fired. I thought they quit.
I think so. I think they were fired because of the outrage from Game of Thrones.
Oh no, I don't think that's true. I think they just.
I'm
quit
pretty
because
sure they
didn't like
were.
it.
Were
No,
they?
Not-
Maybe.
no,
Maybe.
I'm
Who
pretty sure.
knows? Who knows what
What
really is
bad-
going on? Even if they did quit, who's to say they weren't actually fired?
What bad optics that is, though, is that one, like,
Yeah.
the Game of Thrones season finale or season ending, and then 1 second.
What was the
Okay,
joke?
we might have just cut there for a second, just because we named dropped and doxed ourselves. So we just wanted
And
to
also
get that.
we also doctored something.
We docked ourselves, so it was not.
Hey,
good.
that's a callback to when we talked about Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm hopeful, but like I don't know. I just feel like they're doing too many things at once for one movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
see,
like
that was the big
to bring-
complaint. That was a big complaint about Spider-Man.
What's the villain gonna
like
be
the
for the
Raimi
next
Spider-Man
Spider-Man?
3?
What's
Doc Ock.
the
There's
villain
gonna be
gonna
Doc Ock. There's gonna
It
be
is?
Electro, who is actually in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield.
Oh yeah, the
And
same.
it's gonna be played by
actor,
Jamie
yeah.
Foxx, but it's not going to be the same Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's gonna be the MCU's version of Electro.
Same with
So-
Doc Ock.
Are they
right?
trying? I guess what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring back the Sinister Six or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Sinister Six is pretty
Yeah.
dope. Like in the video game, like it's
'Cause
pretty
it's-
cool
it's
that you have
Mag-
to fight him.
Magneto. I said Magneto. It's Magneto. It's
Yeah, you know the Joker, like all them.
they're bringing the Joker back. They're bringing Magneto.
Lex Luthor.
No, but who is
Sherlock
it?
Holmes.
It's
Sherlock Holmes.
he's not even a villain. Well, I mean, I guess you could argue he's a villain. He's
He's not even a
He's a
superhero.
villain to himself.
a villain to himself.
He's a villain.
Oh,
to
there's
me.
this interesting
He
thing
beat
about
me
Enola
once.
Holmes. You know the Sherlock Holmes estate, like sued the creators of Enola Holmes because they portrayed as Sherlock Holmes as too
As
nice.
being too emotional. I remember saying
yeah,
that.
too
yeah.
like too emotional, because he didn't.
Yeah.
Because the one that they're aware of, like he beats women. You know, he's a drug addict. He
He
hates
didn't
people.
beat women in the original stories.
I don't know, but it was just talking about how he treats women too nice and stuff like that. Like that was the whole thing. I think that's.
I think
pretty
he
funny.
just no. I think he just showed too much emotion. I'm pretty sure that's what the lawsuit was about.
Yeah, they were
he
saying he
showed
was
too
too
much
nice.
emotion.
Like Henry Cavill's version
Yeah.
of Sherlock Holmes was.
But you don't have
way
to
too
make it.
nice.
You don't have to make Sherlock Holmes.
You don't have to
sexist.
make it a sexist thing, dude.
I just
Maybe I'm
want to say.
projecting.
I just
Okay.
want to say.
Also,
you
maybe
might have
I'm
to. You might have to cut this out.
projecting.
I might have to. You might have to cut this out, Daniel. But every time I see Henry Cavill, I just want to have intercourse with him.
You know,
see
you know
him?
it's
Every
true
time you
because
see
his
him, do you
voice
see him
cracked
quite a
as soon
bit?
as he said
Do
it.
you see him quite a bit?
Did you not hear his
See him
voice
like
crack?
very
Oh,
Every time I
I
see
heard
it.
his voice crack. I'm going over it because. So is that staying in or not?
Just let it stay. Who cares, man?
It's up
It's
to you
not
guys.
cursing. As long as it's not cursing, it's okay. But
I didn't
What were we
actually. Sherlock Holmes.
We were
oh yeah.
talking about-
Also, I wanted to say backtrack because I was being sarcastic
Mm-hmm.
about like Ronald Reagan, like he made the entire country hate gay people.
He
I'm not
also did
homophobic.
do that though. He did.
I
do
love
that,
gay
though.
people, not in that way though. Like I don't love them
My
romantically.
best friend
but I
Daniel is
love-
gay.
Oh my god. No.
I just want to backtrack to apologize, if anything, because I don't want people
Yeah.
to misconstrue my sarcasm.
For the record, though,
anything-
Ronald
so
Reagan
did he
did make
not
a
make
majority of
people-
the country homophobic.
He did make a lot of the country homophobic, though. That is true.
Okay,
Social
so
conservative.
you're not-
Because Ronald Reagan
backtracking
was a
on that,
terrible
you're back-
person.
I'm backtracking on like being like that's a good thing because it's obviously not a good thing. So
Oh.
making sure.
Yeah, obviously.
Did you imply it was a good thing?
I didn't.
I was
hear
being
that.
sarcastic.
Oh no, he did. He
saying-
did. That's right.
yeah.
I remember.
That's
I
a
was being
very
sarcastic.
it's a very strange thing to remember at this very given time.
Yeah.
I was going to
it
say
is.
it,
By
and
the
then
way, I've been wanting to say it for the past 20 minutes, but I made a joke 20 minutes ago that I want to apologize for. We
Yeah,
apologize
I
for
feel-
jokes at the end, Naimur. Don't you remember? We apologize at the end of the.
Hey, I just wanted to emphasize
you said it yourself. My sarcasm is so good that like some people just.
I
can't
just wanted
tell.
to emphasize that by the end of this year, we will be at war with Spain.
No, this is not your world
What?
history.
Don't have to
textbook.
at me.
Luke's gonna
Don't have
Luke
to
is gonna
at me.
start a war with Spain in the next 20 days. Less than that.
No, I knew we were
That's what he's
instantly
doing.
in
He's
deep
threatening.
trouble. We were already in deep trouble when I remember like literally the first week of 2020, I saw on trending on Twitter World War III. Like what?
Yeah.
What's happening?
But so many people have made this joke. I don't even want to talk about this. Like, it's so boring because people are like, 2020 is the worst year ever.
I'm just saying, listen,
It's not
Listen,
even a joke though.
I'm
It's
just saying-
true. I've never
It's like,
since in
I'm
the
just
modern
saying-
era. So let's say
yeah.
after World War II, this is probably one of the worst years in human history.
That's such a
America.
bold
Definitely-
statement.
Definitely not
Like,
true,
because
though.
of COVID.
Okay,
sure,
after
but,
Vietnam,
like,
whatever. After a major war. Okay, maybe after 9/11. It's the worst year since.
Are we talking about worldwide or just in the United
In
States?
America. In America.
But then it'd be 2001.
Since 2001.
Yeah, but
2001.
earlier you said
when Luke was born. It was the day Luke was
And
born.
me and Naimur.
Worst day ever.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's me, Naimur, and 9/11 in that order makes 2001 the worst year.
In that order.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And you know what? I fixed it. I was born in 2002, and I was like, we gotta change things around here. We gotta.
And then from that day
We gotta
forward,
rebuild the
2002 was the
country.
worst year.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
It's been a rough year though. I mean, it's just like
No, it
what
certainly
can go
has.
wrong.
But
It's
it's
just
like-
such a collection of bad things. It's like so weird. It's like okay,
it's
we have
almost
a
just
pandemic going
disappointing
on.
to talk about it. That's kind of the.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
But
we
it's just
shouldn't
like-
talk about it.
It's crazy. It's like how could so many bad things happen? First, potential World War III thing happens. Potential.
Mm-hmm.
Second, Kobe Bryant dies. Really sad for me. Maybe it doesn't hold that big of a deal
Who?
to y'all.
Oh,
Like, it
Kobe
was a pretty
Bryant.
sad day for me.
It made me really
Kobe
scared about
Bryant.
getting in helicopters.
I
Yeah.
guess,
Now
yeah.
I don't want to be rich anymore.
Yeah, that is really sad though, because he talked about it like years ago that he was like, I just hate LA traffic because I literally have missed like my daughter's recitals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just in LA
The
traffic.
traffic.
So like, I saw like in helicopters, like a 40-minute trip through car ride is literally like 10 to 15 minutes, so it saves so much time.
Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
like, dang, dude, like that is how he died. Like it was so sad by that. And he was just so
Yeah.
young. He had retired. He had such a future. He had already won an Oscar like a year or two after retiring. He was gonna plan
What
on.
made me
writing
really
things.
sad was that his daughter died as well.
That too. Like she was gonna be
Yeah.
like the future of the WNBA. She was gonna be a huge athlete for women's basketball. It's
Hey,
such
I'm
a
just
sad
saying,
moment.
who could say that she would have just been the future of the WNBA?
Yeah.
Maybe the NBA. Who knows? She was.
Yeah.
I don't know. She was a very talented person. Kobe Bryant was a huge ambassador.
Did you hear
for the
that-
NBA too?
Did you hear that this week? The first.
Are you talking about college football?
Goal.
The girl?
Yeah, the first goal was scored by a woman in college football.
Field goal. Yeah.
Wow.
The thing I hate though is
No,
why
the
is
first
it when
points
anything.
were earned by
The thing I hate in social media. This is probably my biggest pet peeve in social media.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it whenever anything relating a woman that shows up on a sports page, the
Yeah.
comments are instantly the most horrid things, being like, why,
Yeah.
no one cares, get back in the kitchen.
sport.
It's a men's sport.
men's
She'd absolutely
sport.
get demolished if she played for real. She sucks. Like, dude, like why is this so
Okay,
integral
listen.
to your identity?
To
that
the
you have
people, to the
like,
people
just
who say,
crap on it.
to the people who say like, if she was playing real football, she would have been demolished. I just say that she was a kicker. How often does a
Yeah.
kicker get tackled?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, just the fact
just-
of the matter is
I-
like, this is not a hill you need to die on. I
Yeah.
clearly
How
the reason why
fragile
people
do you
this
have to? How fragile?
is
do
because
you
their
have to be?
masculinity feels attacked. It's because their identity
Yeah,
feels
honestly.
attacked to them
Really?
with this stuff like that.
Do you think those people have
I feel
ever
like
played
that.
any sport? Do you think they've ever played
No,
any
I'm sure.
sport?
I'm sure some of them have, but like
Some
I
of
do
them.
like
Do you think most of them?
yeah. But whenever they bring up the WNBA, like obviously the
Mm-hmm.
WNBA is not very popular, and I get that, right? So when like ESPN's Instagram or like Bleacher Report on Instagram like shows like a highlight from the WNBA or about a player or an accomplishment from a team, it's like it's always in the comments like, oh, they suck, like, oh, they should be they're cooking in the kitchen, yada. Just basically devolves around that type of humor. It's like, oh, nobody shows up to the games, like even it like no matter what, like just why? What is the point? And I make an effort sometimes. I look at these Instagram profiles, and it's usually like a kid that's like not too far younger than me, like maybe he's in high school, like
Yeah.
9th, 10th grade. He plays like a sport or something. It's like, bro, usually white, usually a white kid, boy, or a
9
white
out of
dude.
10 times they're white. Yeah.
or like a really
Yeah.
old white dude, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, come on, like you have like what are you getting out of this, man? Like, do you clearly
Yeah.
just watch Ben Shapiro all day? And
What
love
I don't
outrage
understand
so
is why
much?
can't we let other people like celebrate in their successes? Like that's what I never understand. Like it's just so ridiculous to be like to look at that situation and not go, "Oh wow, that's really cool for her," but to think instead, "Wow, this can't actually mean anything. They're just putting this. I have to degrade this in some way to say that, well, it's not
Yeah.
that cool. Oh, this is the first time. It'll probably be the last. It's like, what do you have to gain from that? Like, it's such. Not only is it just horribly offensive, but it's also just like such a negative way to view the world, where you always have
Yeah.
to like find a
Well, it's
way
very,
to
we
make
live
it
in a
about
very
yourself. I don't know.
identity-centric world where a lot of things are tied towards our identity, right? So,
Mhm.
like,
That's what I was going to say too, yeah.
like especially in politics and stuff like that, like you can't really ever change a person of the opposing viewpoint's mind because, like for the most part, it is in their identity to be a Republican. It is in their identity to be a Democrat. That like when you start shaking that identity, like they fight or flight responses kick in.
Yeah.
You know, and
Truly.
they're trying to save that identity, right? And I think like Adam Conover from Adam Ruins Everything had a really good point. He was like saying like if you were a flat earther society, you met your girlfriend, like this is just an example. You met your girlfriend who now became your wife, through like a flat earther fan club or meeting, and then you know you have kids, and then you know you have all these friends that you met from this stuff too, and then you suddenly see things that have to do with solid proof that the Earth is round. It's like your identity
You're not gonna
is
accept
literally
it.
based
Yeah.
upon that. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't just just subconsciously you can't just get it off, even if you're just like it's true or not. You know what I mean?
Even
So
if
that's
there's
why
real proof. Yeah.
that's the whole point of this whole cancel culture thing, stuff like that, because it triggers people's fight or flight responses. It doesn't actually trigger change, which is the biggest issue, because so much of things are tied towards your identity that you can't really just change it. And this is the huge thing
Right.
about masculinity and stuff like that. It's like, you know, people like, you know, with toxic masculinity, like, you know, a lot of guys, like, you know, people think about the people that were crapping on Harry Styles for wearing a woman's dress on, what was it, Vogue? Right? Like he was just
I
wearing
don't
like
remember.
he was
Yeah.
wearing like, just like a
Yeah.
dress. I mean, let's not even say women's dress, just a dress, because it's not a big deal, right? And then, you know, Ben Shapiro, you know, the icon of male masculinity, was saying bring back manly men, like stuff like that with Candace Owens. Like,
Yeah.
bro, like who cares? Like, you know, to you, like, if you don't want to wear a dress, that's fine, but like why does it matter if someone else that's a dude does? You know? Like I
Yeah.
don't like it's not bothering you, it's not doing anything.
I
Like
think to their point, and I don't agree with this point, but their argument would be, why are we celebrating this? And my point would be, because we need to be more open about these things. Like, there is such a toxicity around people wearing clothes of the opposite gender. It's ridiculous. People should be able to, like, wear clothes that they want to wear. It's like, and, you know, there's a certain degree where, like, we maybe should set the bar where it's like you can't go out in public nude. But, like, beyond that, you should not have, like, for a party that really cares about freedom and, like,
They really want to
all of that
abolish a lot of
stuff,
freedoms.
they really want to, like, yeah, they really care a lot about or impressing their viewpoints on other people. It's
On
just,
others, yeah.
it's so strange to me.
You know what really
You know,
makes me? You know what really grinds my gears? When those people are
really-
the same people that say like, the same people that say like, like hating gays or disagreeing with gay people has been a thing for thousands and millions of years. And when this is me actually talking now, homosexuality as an identity hasn't been around for probably 500 years or 600 years, because before that people just had sex with men or women.
Yeah.
it
That's
was
just how
just
it
a
was.
construct
In
made by
ancient
society,
Rome,
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. In ancient Rome, it didn't matter who you were having sex with. It mattered the position
Why,
that you were in the relation. No, it mattered the position that you were in the relationship. If you were the
I
dominant
was gonna
one,
say the position. I thought he was gonna stop at position.
no.
Missionary.
If you were the dominant
And-
person in the relationship, then you get more respect, and if you were the subservient one, you get less respect. Because it was especially common an older man and a younger boy, like a teenage boy, would be partners. Like and then
Yikes.
yeah, the older man would be obviously the dominant
There's some-
superior
there's some
one.
history
so
for
he
you
would be
guys.
respected.
Yeah,
history
obviously, pedophilia is wrong though. Universally, it should be wrong. But
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
with a lot
that's
of
just how it
things
works.
is that just I hate when people just use religion to justify being a jerk. Like
yeah.
Truly.
that's
They're
how
like,
you
I'm
do
just
that.
trying to
right?
save these
They
people.
They use religious documents that have been translated over and over and over and over again for propaganda purposes, for mostly propaganda purposes.
Yeah.
As yeah. Anyway,
as a jerk.
The
because
one thing that-
guess
the
what?
one thing
Guess
that
what?
gives me
Guess what?
hope-
The homophobia passage in the Bible was
Yeah.
probably actually about children.
Yeah.
That's
That's
just
the one
another
thing that
thing
gives
about
me
it, too,
hope
is-
about like about religions, where there are people coming out and saying, guys, this has probably been mistranslated like multiple times to push an
Yeah.
agenda. Like
Yeah, and I hate that the argument whenever people like so people say you know you can't use homophobia or like homophobia invaluable because the Bible, like you can't just like adhere to that one saying because in the Bible it also says you shouldn't eat shrimp. In the Bible it also says you can't get tattoos,
Right.
you can't
There's
do all
that
these
whole
other
thing.
things.
Mhm.
Yeah, but then like the top comments always like stop cherry picking versus the Bible, but in reality that's literally what you're doing when you just
Yeah.
choose to adhere. Like I hate that argument so much because. Okay, then
Yeah.
why don't you stop cherry picking the verses in the Bible too?
Here's what
Like,
I will
yeah.
say. Here's what I will say.
The parts of
And
the Bible
here's
that
an
make you an
argument that
asshole.
they make.
Or that allow you to be an asshole.
here's something important. And this is kind of the argument they would make. A lot of the stuff that we omit from the Bible or just ignore is in the Old Testament. And so the justification for why we're allowed to cherry pick a lot of the times is because, well, it's actually in the New Testament, so it's actually part of the modern day adherence of Christianity. Like what?
Well, the homophobia was in the Old Testament. That was in.
I think there's
Leviticus,
also
right?
I think there's also some of it in the New Testament. I think you can find
But
it.
also, here's the
thought
thing.
that
I don't
too,
know
is, like,
exactly. I don't know
Whatever.
exactly. I might be completely wrong on that, but I'm saying for that argument, not just applying to the homophobia in the Bible, but also there's other
then
things that
just
people would
historically,
argue
a lot of people have used the Bible and stuff like that in America to justify their horrid actions, right? Like, you know, in the 1950s and 60s, like Christians used the Bible as justification to segregate, like, you know, like,
And
you know,
for
keep
genocide.
pure, keep our sides pure, all that stuff like that. Like that is what they literally used the Bible for. And,
You know what's
like,
hilarious? What's hilarious is that Jesus would definitely be a socialist.
Yeah, a
And
socialist
these are the people.
Jewish man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
He is. So, like,
Dude, I
clearly-
hate it when people get upset when you tell them that Jesus was a person of color.
Yeah.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, how out of touch with your own religion do you have to be? Sorry,
Well, it's like
that's
it's
just
pop
upsetting
culture,
to me.
It's pop
Well,
culture
okay,
and everything,
actually-
you know, they just
Actually,
they did that.
technically, we don't know what skin color Jesus had because the race that
Sure.
he was doesn't exist anymore.
That's
Okay,
true.
that's
'Cause-
fair. It's just because of
he
the
was-
He
location.
definitely
he was-
wouldn't be.
He was a
As white as
Nicene
Luke.
Jew, and Nicene Jews don't exist anymore. He probably would have been Daniel's skin tone or Naimur's skin tone, a mix
Yeah,
between
like an olive
Yeah,
Italian.
he's not
skin tone.
necessarily
Yeah.
like
Mediterranean. He would have been
Yeah.
Mediterranean.
yeah.
Just geographically, yeah, it would make the most sense for that. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's like but like pop culture and media and all that stuff has made Jesus into this like super white figure. You know, Jesus,
Mhm.
not even Jesus, or you know, Jesus, like stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's just,
Well, I'm
like,
just saying that-
obviously-
I'm just saying be wary because there's also in a lot of Korean cultures there's also or Asian cultures there's also an Asian Jesus. So
Yeah, exactly.
I think
So, like,
cultures
you know,
cultures just adapt their cultural
yes, this
icons.
is not just white culture
to be
this
what
is
they
just
look like,
cultures
yeah.
in general.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? This stuff gets
Yeah.
lost in history all the time too. So it's like it's clearly like whatever. But you know, I think with all this stuff, like people just literally use religion to justify all these things because they just want to keep their views safe.
Mhm.
They don't necessarily care, but they're as long as you know they can do the mental gymnastics to make religion on their side for it, then it's like whatever.
Mhm.
Like they're fine sleeping at night with all this stuff.
Hey, this is Daniel from the future. I am currently editing the podcast right now, and I just wanted to say, hey, just thanks for listening this far, you know? Thank you. And then I also wanted to say we unfortunately had to cut a lot of the next half hour out of the podcast, so the original podcast was really long, so we're going to try and, you know, shorten that down a little bit. Anyways, I just wanted to say, if it seems like a harsh transition from talking to religion to talking about inflation, this is why. So anyways, thanks for listening this far. Hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast.
One thing I don't understand is how does inflation occur without the gold standard? I get the more common a commodity becomes, whatever, but then you could also just say, yeah, but it's also backed by digital formats of the currency, right?
I'm not
I don't
know.
100%
So if
sure, but I think it
so
has
if you-
to do with the amount of labor and resources that have to go into things. Because back then, it would be, oh, hey, think about an egg. The price of an egg used to be really cheap. What they would do was there'd be a little barn. A farmer would go out, grab all the eggs. You know, they would put them in some kind of like wooden box or whatever, put them in the back of a truck, drive them to the local supermarket. Now what it has to do is there's this giant factory that they built. They have all of this equipment, you know, that feeds the chickens when they're supposed to, blah, 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 blah. Then they put these in fancy styrofoam containers that have been shipped here from another country, right? And then they fill those in. They put them in a refrigerated
fair.
truck that travels. So it's just like things become more
It becomes faster
complex
to
over
make
time.
things.
And and faster. And so it's just like that's one of
Yeah.
the reasons I think prices and stuff inflate over time.
Well, Mr.
Right,
Robot
but
was really
yeah.
interesting. Mr.
I know you were
Robot,
talking about
TV
money
show-
inflation, but that's kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Robot was pretty interesting because at the end of its first season, basically it basically makes the financial economy of America collapse literally overnight because the main character has this he basically hacks the U.S. government and changes the currency overnight or whatever, and there is a kind of a side story in the show in season 2 where it's they're basically talking about how are we gonna recover from this, right? They're okay, well, let's just get backed by something else. Let's use so for them they use this thing called eCoin, which is the company called eCorp. They use eCoin to back the currency because it's so useless right now that they need anything they can. You know what I mean? So it's it's weird to me that again it all boils down to because economics is so complicated that it's so infuriating just to hear a random high school conservative brainiac to be what, why wages, wages, you know what I mean? You can't increase minimum wage. How is the economy gonna work?
Yeah, if wages were entirely competitive, then everyone would be able to be on a livable wage. I don't know about that one.
It's really weird.
This is random. I have to tell you this. Naimur, did you know that every character in Mr. Robot refers to E-Core as Evil Core, despite the fact that it's kind of
why they do that, right?
Is because they don't say that. Yeah, they actually say E-Core, but because it's all from his perspective, the main character's perspective, they I think that's the idea. Anyways,
that's a fantastic show. I need to watch season 4. I have not
watched
seen
season 2, 3, 4.
I haven't finished watching any of it.
I kind of wanted to distract us from our political rant, so we end on a high note.
Okay,
I think you'd like it.
To end this, I just want to.
I don't know. I look. You want to do? Let's do a 2.5 hour one. You know what I'm saying? 2.5
I just want to reemphasize. That Daniel has only dated white, short Christian girls.
Why
now you're doxing.
Why is
this
again? This podcast has become. He's not doxing me. Why has this podcast become embarrassed Daniel?
Daniel just. It's not that.
No, I'm not. No, listen.
I'm not saying.
I'm not saying.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Those people.
I've dated 2 people. I'm not saying. You can't make a pattern out of that. You can't make a pattern.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying he only dates white girls.
Okay.
You are making it
all of a sudden.
You're intentionally making it a bad thing.
Luke all of a sudden starts dating a what do you call it? What's the word? Hispanic or Latin American? I don't know. Mexican? Is she from Mexico?
Yes.
You could say any of those words and it'd be accurate.
Any of them are accurate, Naimur. It's just so funny hearing you.
My sister got really mad at me when I called someone Hispanic, and she's like, "Are they from Mexico?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "What's the word?" I was like, "Mexican." She's like, "Yes."
No, Hispanic. Hispanic means from any Spanish-speaking country.
Whatever.
You can
Anyway,
be from Spain
my point being,
Hispanic.
Luke starts dating
Okay, listen.
No,
I know the difference.
Luke starts dating a Mexican girl,
I just want to say,
he is much more superior than Daniel because he's more diverse. Even though he as well has dated white girls before too. So I don't understand.
A white girl.
A white girl.
Okay.
That was just.
I just want to say. I just want to say. Hispanic means from Spanish-speaking country, which can be Spain, Cuba, Mexico, Colombia. Latin America means from a Latin country, a country in America that speaks a Latin language, which is like Mexico, Brazil, Cuba, whatever, and that's it.
And Mexican means from Mexico.
From Colombia.
From Mexico.
My point being, Luke is dating a Mexican girl, and all of a sudden he thinks he's much more diverse and cooler than Daniel because he's not.
No, it's like I was saying. It's like I was saying earlier. It's like I was saying earlier. If you have one of the same color or race, it's not diverse, right, Daniel?
So, Luke, are you saying you're dating your girlfriend now to fill up a racial quota like the university?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So the next one's going to be like either
exactly
Black or Middle Eastern.
He's trying to draw a correlation with 2 dots on a graph. Like that doesn't add up to me.
Statistically, you can't really do any trend from that. But Luke says he's going to fill up the racial quota. So hopefully, I hope the next girlfriend he has is probably going to be Black or
the next girlfriend. No, the next girlfriend
Chinese,
I have is going to be Naimur.
Japanese.
I feel like
I'm a minority.
Sorry,
as well, so
to go
works.
to be fully diverse, he needs to also include men in this in this quota that he
also needs to include men. Yeah, that he does have to gay people. That's a minority as well. I don't know who else. A lot of other minorities. So he's basically going to be at college by the end of his time. He's leaving another Easter egg for you, Daniel, in the audio tracks. You're going to have to.
Did he actually?
Yes,
I did.
You can tell
Luke,
because
you
he
gotta
mutes
stop
himself
doing
on
it.
Discord.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
but
miss
now
them.
we
I'm not
you're
joking.
not
I'm
gonna
gonna
miss this one. You're
Okay,
definitely
well,
not gonna miss the other one.
That's not the point. It
Okay,
takes
but
me a
listen-
good minute to edit around it.
No, the first one I did today wasn't that bad. It was just me saying the name of my home appliance, turn on my lights really
I knew
close to the
that one.
microphone.
I knew that
Okay.
one.
All right, just letting you
That
know.
one.
Because it wouldn't be bad if you missed that one, but also you won't be able to miss it. You won't miss it.
Remember, this podcast.
I don't think that's the point.
we're supposed to make this as easy for Daniel as possible. We
No,
have to.
no. Clearly, this podcast is makedanielsjobhard.org.com.
I feel
See,
like
Naimur,
I've done a
you
pretty
say
good
that.
job of making it
Naimur,
easy.
no, you say that, but then you also complain about everything Daniel comes up with, even if it's music or art or
That is not
anything.
true.
Hold on, I did
So-
want to
Yes,
pull
it
this
is.
up. I did want to pull
So
this
I want
up.
you guys to know that we spent a solid week coming up with an intro, or Daniel
Guys,
did.
I'm
And
sorry.
I was basically shutting
We
down
sound like
each one.
sorry. We sound like we're being so mean to each other. We're just getting like really angry at each other, but it's all in
No,
like.
Naimur
we're not.
shut down every single one of the ones that Daniel made, except for the ones that plagiarized other bands or
No.
plagiarized bands.
Anyway,
I mean,
what happened
yes,
was, let
technically.
me tell you how it actually happened, because Luke had
That's
no
what happened.
critical presence in this whatsoever.
Mhm.
Oh, I was
Yes,
there when he
Luke,
was
even
making
though
them.
I didn't. Okay, that doesn't mean. Okay, yeah, I was there when the moon was landing. That doesn't mean I did it. Okay, like, or the moon.
But you
wasn't-
weren't there when the
First
moon
of all,
landed. I'm a little
no,
confused.
you
What is this
weren't.
analogy?
I don't get
Just
it.
because you were present for something doesn't mean you partook in it. Doesn't mean
Okay.
that.
Naimur, how old are you again?
Huh? I am 85 on Thursday.
Hey, Luke.
This
He
Thursday.
knows the
Gotcha.
president of Brazil. Of course, he's been around since the moon.
Me and Che Guevara have coffee every weekend.
I don't think you know who that
Right?
is.
Is he dead? Che Guevara.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So it's like, so what actually happened was, so that intro song you've heard in the podcast up until that amazing intro song, right, Daniel? So we took a week coming up with that, because here's the first thing. I didn't even think we needed an intro, because Daniel was like, "Hey man, I came up with this intro late last night, and look." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Can it look better?" And Daniel was like, "Yes," because I didn't want it to look crappy. And then we're like,
No,
well,
it
we
was.
need
It
intro
was.
music
Yeah,
for
it was a filler video. It was like filler.
Yeah, we needed an intro. We needed intro music for it, and Daniel came up with one. But the thing
That we
was,
will
it sounded
use
like a
if we
news
ever have a
broadcast.
news channel. If we ever have a news channel,
Yeah.
that's what we'll use.
It sounded like a news broadcast. I was like, no, I don't like that. And then I was like,
Mm-hmm.
let's try something else. And I was helping him like come up with ideas. You know, I was on my guitar like, trying, even though not very well.
But it
'cause
was
Daniel clearly knows
overloading
music
for
better than me.
somebody like me who it takes a while to make a single idea. So like to
Yes.
output so many ideas in a short span, it became very uninspiring to me.
And so
That
I
was
was
the
like, you know
problem.
what, Daniel, we need to post these on YouTube or whatever. It's like Daniel was literally holding these videos hostage for like 3 weeks, trying
I
to
was
come
not
up with
holding the
these
videos
intros.
hostage.
You more
And
or
then-
less were. You pretty much
Yeah,
were.
and then I was like,
I was
you know
not
what,
holding
Daniel,
the videos
just choose one.
hostage, guys. I was not holding the videos hostage.
And then I was like, Daniel, just choose one, man. I don't care. Whatever. If it sounds like garbage, don't care.
And then
so
you
I
shut down
picked
the
It
windows.
still took another
so then I
4
picked
days
the
to come up
original
with it.
audio. So then I picked the original.
But then he
I
put
just
it in like a
ignored
lower
everything he
octave.
said.
And then he put it in a lower octave. And yeah. So that amazing intro was literally just me saying, Daniel, I don't care. Just choose one.
But then,
Here,
Naimur,
you
you're
know what?
also
I
missing out.
literally-
Naimur, you're also missing out the part where you literally wanted him to plagiarize somebody else.
okay, I didn't want to plagiarize. I wanted
Come on.
the bass line
Come on.
to be the bass line from Sinister Kid by the Black Keys. That's not
Which
plagiarizing.
is plagiarism.
That's sampling
it's
at best.
Pretty much.
That's
it's
sampling at
plagiarism.
best.
Sampling at best.
You're right, Luke.
Plagiarism.
Luke,
You're right.
you know
If you
plagiarism
don't,
every
exists
single
okay,
piece
in
of
the
are
music
you
music
gonna,
industry.
Naimur? Are you gonna give credit to him in the description of every video we make?
For a bass line, I don't think you really need to. For a bass line,
Well, then it's sampling. Then if it's only sampling if you give them credit.
I
It's
don't know.
only
It was
sampling
a-
and not plagiarism if you give them
okay.
credit.
Here's the thing. I was like, do this,
I
and then
don't
Daniel was like, it's too close to it. And I was like, all right,
Copyright
you know
law
what,
is
then-
too complex. I didn't even want to get near it. That was my point.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then I was like, then why don't you just change it up a little bit so that it at least sounds good in that vein? Because I like the
'Cause
way
it's still too
it works.
close. Still
And
too
then
then
I
Daniel was
did,
like,
and then
"No,
you're
no,
like,
no."
no, it doesn't sound good.
No, you didn't.
You're
Don't
like,
even
no,
count,
no,
Daniel.
yeah, I changed it up once, and you were like, no, this doesn't sound.
Daniel, you
doesn't
could
sound
tell
good.
me
And I was
that
like,
you just
I just
literally-
wanna say-
got upset.
I just want to
I
say.
got
I
upset.
just
I
want
was
to
like,
say.
I'm not
I
gonna
just
make
wanna
this
say
6 times
Right now,
Mhm.
I just want to say I agree with Daniel.
Of course you do. You guys are each other's butt buddies. Like you guys will.
Yeah,
go to
I've
the
never
ends of the earth
disagreed with
each
Luke
other.
on anything ever. Is what Naimer's trying to get. at.
Ever.
Never
especially
disagreed.
Daniel
not.
plays-
especially not the
Daniel
fact.
plays
Especially not the
politics.
fact that. Especially not the fact that. Those tire tracks in the dirt We're definitely two
No one's gonna get
motorcycles
this reference.
driving parallel
one's
to
gonna
each
get
other.
this
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Driving perfectly
Exactly.
parallel to
It's
each other.
stupid.
No, but like, see, like Daniel's like
I'm
the
not even gonna
politician,
explain it because
like,
it's not worth.
me and Luke are conflicting ideals, right? And then like we're like hashing it out, and then I'm like, Daniel, you'll listen to him, say my side, and then Daniel basically has to be like a politician, being like, ladies, you're both right, and I think we can all consolidate. Basically, he says nothing when he says a lot, but
I
but
say a
also does
lot
nothing.
and yet nothing at the same time.
Like when
Exactly.
Namer
And
and I,
that's
like
and
when
that's
Namer
what-
and I are
Our
arguing.
friendship is built on that. Saying
when Namer
so
and I are
much yet
arguing-
so little.
Like when Namer and I are arguing about whether or not you should wear a lampshade over your head anytime anybody goes
Luke,
to
when you
public.
mumble, like how's the audience gonna understand what you're saying?
I'm not
like,
even
laugh?
mumbling. You just keep interrupting me.
When you're talking really fast like this, and then it's like I just ate a cow yesterday, and they don't understand what I say, and
I just ate a cow
Namer just
yesterday.
called
the show, and
Okay, this is
Namer just
becoming.
called women
Cyberpunk
cows.
was pretty good. Cyberpunk was pretty
Okay,
good.
the ending of this podcast is going to.
Are we
Five.
ending it right now? We
So
still have like
we're-
10 minutes.
We're not ending it
Three.
right now because I'm having to cut out the last 5 minutes.
5,
Are we
4,
actually cutting out the last
3.
5 minutes?
2.
You want to
One.
keep it in?
Yeah, let's keep it in.
The part where Namer advocates
Alright,
for
we're
plagiarism and
keeping it
also calls
in.
and also
Ooh,
calls
you know
women
what the
cows.
episode title should be for
Alright,
this? The
this
after
is-
school special.
You know
Why
what we
would it
should
be
name
called
this?
that?
You know what we should name this? You know what we should name
It's
this?
kooky.
We should just name it Namer. Period.
Wow, Luke.
Luke Brady, ladies and gentlemen. A comedic genius.
Oh my god, dude, we're so tired, dude. This is so bad.
I'm not
So
tired. Are
bad,
you
dude.
tired?
The
'Cause I'm not
last-
tired.
No,
I'm pretty
just
tired.
you may not
Namer,
feel
you also
tired,
woke up at
but
2 o'clock in-
exhaustion
2 o'clock in the
hits you
afternoon.
even when you don't feel it.
Daniel,
I
why are
woke
you
up-
Daniel,
tired?
I think
Did you sleep
Daniel, I
okay,
think you're
Daniel?
forgetting the fact that Namer woke up at 2 p.m. today.
Yeah, and
I know
played
we're not supposed to
Cyberpunk for, like,
review
8
the
of those hours
podcast
that I did.
as we're recording the podcast, but I would just like to point out that for the past 10 minutes, it was probably just you and you arguing with each other about something that didn't matter at all and changing the topic, but still arguing with each other.
Listen.
First it was
as long
the
as
first
Luke
it
doesn't
was
say
the
a word,
music.
there is no argument. So if Luke just didn't talk ever,
Right,
But also-
that's,
but
that's
also-
the solution.
But
That's
also,
the
Namer,
solution
if
right
you
there.
didn't say a word, there'd be no argument.
with you,
Right, so
and then
actually,
you and
okay,
Luke-
wait, hold, hey
but
guys,
Daniel
hold
and
on,
Luke would also
hold
argue.
on, hold on. Can you guys both mute yourselves real quick? This podcast has now become just me talking to myself.
lone
how-
And this
Podcast.
this podcast is brought to you by NamerAdvocatesForPlagiarism.com.
No,
Oh my god, dude.
this man.
Namer, we all know plagiarism is actually okay. Come on.
Yeah, have you never been in the music industry, bro? Like, are you guys that dumb? Gosh. Oh,
Huh,
you guys
says the
listen
person
to
who-
I'm just
says
saying.
the-
I'm just
says the
saying.
person who
I'm just
hasn't
saying. When
actually
I
made
copy,
music.
when I copy and
God.
pasted The Great Gatsby and turned it into my English teacher, she gave me a 0. That's
I
how
got
I base
100
my
on
moral
one of those
judgment.
quizzes. I was
You
one
got
of the
100
only-
by
fun
copying
fact.
and pasting Great Gatsby?
No. We had a reading quiz for Great Gatsby in high school, and I was
And
the
everyone
only
hated
person
you.
in the entire grade to get 100 on that quiz. And like people were failing that quiz. Like they were relying on a curve, but since I got 100, there was no curve.
Namer, I just want to point this out. Namer got 100 out of pure luck.
No.
Yeah.
I read it.
It was
I read
complete
the
luck.
book.
No, it
I
was
read the
luck.
reading
Yeah,
chapter.
I
Be
read
honest
the
with
book
yourself.
too. I
Be
read
honest
the
with yourself.
entire book, Namer.
I
You
did.
don't-
I read.
How
This is the
do you
only time I read, like-
remember? How do you remember such specific details? As these types of tests are the worst, where it's quote, just a random quote from the middle of the book.
Yeah.
Who said this? Who was it?
I just
You should know their
guessed, because I
personality.
was like, their
and exactly
motivation.
Yeah, exactly. You guessed. You didn't
No,
know.
but you know why I had a feeling? It's because I also read the Spark Notes a period before, because I had like a study hall period.
As did I. You don't think I did this stuff? I
Okay, guess what,
I
Daniel?
got like a
All I'm hearing is,
78.
Namer,
I'm
how
not
are
saying,
you so smart? I don't know,
That
Daniel.
is what I- Namer,
All
this
I
is a
know is I'm
compliment.
smarter than you.
Or
I'm
maybe
smart-
you're luckier than
Daniel,
I am.
this
but
is
both of those are
single-handedly probably the
compliments.
best moment I ever had in high school. Was that I was the only
Yeah.
one on the quiz to get 100 on that in the grade.
Yeah.
The grade.
You
The
actually
teacher
peaked
thought
in
I
high
cheated.
school. That was the peak in high school for you.
I know.
You know
And
my
your
best
peak in
moment
life
in high
as
school.
well.
You know my best moment in high school was when that person fell off the balcony and I made fun of them.
Did some,
Like to their face.
No, jumped off the balcony. Sorry, they didn't fall.
Did you make fun of them to their face though?
No, I'm totally kidding. I didn't.
Yeah, how's
I
that
don't
not
even know
peak?
who
Well,
did
we
it.
made fun
I
of
don't even
them, but we didn't know them.
Just kidding.
For those
I'm
of you
just
that
kidding, 'cause
weren't
I had
at
a
our high
pretty,
school-
I had a pretty unmemorable high school experience. If we're being completely honest.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, so our high school was 2 stories, and there was like a balcony type thing on the upper story, right? And someone jumped off it and landed on like a couch, and it looked really
Like a
it looked like
cushion.
they hurt themselves, but
It looked
they
like it hurt
didn't.
a lot.
And it was a really funny video, and that's what Luke was
Dude,
I
referring
would
to.
like
video-
to point
the
out,
video's
it
pretty
is
funny.
like a 20-foot drop
It's
Yeah.
in
pretty-
certain places. It's
Yeah.
pretty
And
high.
no, but the way
The
the person
ceiling is high
fell,
on the first
like it
one.
looked like they landed on their knee.
It looked
That
like they.
was so
It looked
they
like
weird.
they
landed like a
broke their
frog
neck.
in a frog position.
I also
springed up.
I posted that video to Reddit and got like 1,000 upvotes on it, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It's cool.
That's all I'm saying. Pretty cool.
Luke got gold. Oh, you want to talk about plagiarism, dude? You literally posted someone else's post on Reddit and you got gold for it. Don't at me, dude.
What?
Don't at me.
I
I've
don't
never
know.
had
You don't
gold on
remember
Reddit. I've never had gold on Reddit.
Silver. You got silver. Remember that? Someone
I
awarded
don't.
you something. Someone gave you an
No,
award.
Naimur.
No.
This is not.
No.
Neighbors.
This is not. This is
Naimur,
not
this story isn't
specific
working
enough.
out in your favor because we don't remember.
You're gaslighting me, dude.
I'm not gaslighting you, bro. I'm not
We're not
I will tell
gaslighting
you,
you, bro.
Luke.
We're not
I'm gonna
gaslighting, we're just
I'm
saying
gonna
we
keep
don't
talking,
remember.
and then Luke's gonna remember this. What happened was the post was essentially it was like a Tumblr post or something of a dude saying that you can be racist to Irish people too because Irish people have had their own thing and stuff like that. So like it's like racist, and just because they're white doesn't mean it's suddenly invalidated. Like it's still racism. And then someone gave him an award saying, as an Irish American or something like that, I really like this.
What?
Thank you. Do you,
You did
not,
that.
dude?
I do
Stop
remember
gaslighting
that.
me, dude. This did.
I don't remember
happen.
getting No, I remember posting that, but I don't remember getting an award from it.
Someone gave you silver or something.
Yeah.
Like Reddit silver.
Really?
Yeah. And
I
it
don't
wasn't
remember.
even funny thing. You didn't even write that post. You copied it from like iFunny or something, and then posted.
First of all,
it.
that's not how it works. That's not how that works. Hold on.
Oh, is it, Luke? Please tell me,
Yeah, it's
Mr.
not.
Original Ideas. Okay.
Okay, Mister, I advocate
Oh
for
my God.
plagiarism.
Oh my God, what is
See,
going
this is
on
a-
with this podcast? It's become like a.
This is me
Hey.
getting the last laugh. I'm going to
This
end this
is a-
podcast with me winning and standing over Luke
Oh my God.
and looking him
Man.
in the eyes.
Hey, I'm
he
okay with this
realizes he
because
lost.
at least it's not me that's in the crossfire right now.
Oh, you
Okay,
shouldn't have
but
said that.
Daniel-
You know why, Daniel? Because no one
Yeah,
likes
now
you,
we're gonna
okay?
now we're gonna target you. Daniel, remember how you manipulated the girl I liked into liking you on purpose?
I don't.
I
what
did not
story is
do
he
that.
talking
He's
about?
joking.
I'm so confused.
He's joking. He's referencing the magic. He's referencing the magic, and he's joking, and it's not funny.
God, Daniel was such a nerd. But how did he get so
Oh
many
my
girls in
God.
middle school? I have no
I know.
clue. It's one of the
I
biggest
know.
mysteries
We
of
already
my life.
talked about this in the last.
No, I know
Remember-
why. It's 'cause they were in
Remember
the
when
band.
those
Because
remember
they
when
were
those
in
two
the
I
band.
was
girls
gay,
remember
and
when
therefore
remember when
I'm
those
unattainable.
when those two girls literally broke up their friendship because of Daniel?
Dude,
That was
Daniel
so
is
funny.
such a toxic person.
I don't know why you guys. I'm such a toxic person.
Daniel's a freaking home
Like
wrecker.
not like
Or
not
a
on
freaking
purpose.
home wrecker.
Yeah, you wreck
Yeah.
friendships of people because of how good looking you are. I don't know how you.
That
Daniel's
didn't even
5'4".
happen.
And I
Matter of fact,
genuinely
guys.
don't think. I don't think I'm at the level where that should be happening. It's
I
gotta
know.
be. It's gotta be personality. Most of
For
it has
those
to
of
be
you that don't know
personality,
who
right?
Daniel is, Daniel was a band kid who played the trombone, who loves magic and video games.
Loved
not even
magic.
playing
Let's
video
put that
games.
in the past tense for everyone. Let's put that.
Not
in the
even
past.
playing video games.
He loves
likes
watching video
people
games.
Play
Come
video
on,
games.
it's like the same thing as watching football. Don't even get on me. Don't even.
Okay,
get
first
on
of all,
me, dude.
barely. It's barely the same thing.
It is not barely the
You know
same
why?
thing, bro.
Because I can't play football at a professional level. You can play video games at a professional level if you really want.
I cannot play video games at a professional level with the amount of time.
It's not
that
even
I want to
about
commit to that.
professionalism. It's about
Naimur,
risk.
you could play football at a professional level if you committed like 12 hours every day since the day you started high school
I
to
couldn't.
football.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah,
because
you
I'm
coulda.
5'6", or I'm 5'7".
Doesn't
No, I can't.
matter.
The
You're gonna
shortest
tell me
dude in
no
the NFL in like a position I played is like 6 foot to 6'1".
Then get in a
Neymar,
different
just gain.
position.
Neymar, just gain 500 pounds. You'd be perfect.
Yeah, and they're like 800 pounds. Okay, they're not 800. They're like 300, 400
Then
pounds.
just
They're
do
pretty.
it,
They're
man.
big guys. They're huge guys.
Yeah, that's not like I can't do that. I physically can't do that, Daniel. You could
You're-
play the video
okay.
game by going to the Xbox store and just buying the thing.
Yeah,
I don't
but you're
understand.
arguing
It's
that
not
I can
that
become a
different.
professional at it. I don't want to spend 24 hours a
Okay,
day
you don't
playing
even-
a
okay,
video game to be a
let me-
professional
let
at
me-
it when I can watch
let me-
somebody
let me-
who's
let
already
me
a professional
clarify.
at it for an hour. There's that.
Okay,
there's my.
you don't
point.
watch. No, okay, you know what? You don't. You're not a professional, but
Okay.
you watch people play video games. That's
Mm-hmm.
the same thing as you could just play the video game. And I'm being sarcastic. If you watch Let's Plays, like you're cool, man. Maybe because I have a little bit. I don't know what Luke is looking up. I don't want to see it.
It's
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a photo he's already shown us, but I'm not gonna even talk about it.
Good.
Yeah, just don't
Just
give
wanted
him,
to show you
That's
guys.
how you defeat Luke. You just don't even mention
I just
anything. He
wanted to show
tries
you
be
guys.
funny.
I just wanted to show you guys. That's all.
Keep
Continue.
going.
Luke tries to be
Naimur, you were
funny.
gonna say?
If you just don't
Let's
give
play?
him the attention. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I have like, I feel like this is low-key like a childhood trauma thing because my brother used to like belittle me for watching Let's Plays when I was younger. Like,
So you're
like,
projecting onto me, man.
yeah, that's definitely what it is. No, but like in reality, if you watch Let's Plays about anything like PewDiePie and stuff, good on you, man. Don't care. I think it's cool. Your parents may say, "Buy
I
the
don't
game
watch
yourself.
PewDiePie. I want to put that
Get
out
a
there. I do
job.
not support PewDiePie. I do not.
Get a job.
I don't not support him.
When are
but
you
I
gonna
do
get
not
married? When are you gonna get a job? I don't care. Just watch Let's Plays all your life if you want. I believe in you.
Listen,
Why?
listen. I
This
just
is
want
so
never
to
passive
punctuate
aggressive
it.
against
I
me,
just want
dude.
to.
You're
I just
still-
want to punctuate. I just want to
You're still being
punctuate.
so passive
I
aggressive.
just want to punctuate at the end of the
Uh-huh.
podcast that the only thing we have to fear is Daniel
Is fear
manipulating the
itself.
person you have a crush on to like him.
Oh my god.
See, Luke, but you mumbled that so many times that people are not gonna understand. You said that like 5 years.
I think they'll hear it. I think they'll hear it. They know what he was talking about because he said it 6 times before.
Here's the
Maybe.
I'm
thing,
just
though.
saying.
Barely.
Daniel
just saying.
incidentally manipulated Luke's crush to like him.
I did
But-
not incidentally manipulate. Just take the word
So you did it on
manipulate out
purpose,
of
bro?
it.
With-
So you did it on
No.
purpose.
Malice aforethought.
Stop.
Daniel manipulated the girl.
No.
Anyway,
When I said I
anyway,
did not incidentally manipulate, you should take out the word manipulate. I didn't do any because it implies it wasn't incidental. Does it
Even
not?
if he
Is
did,
the-
even if he
I
did,
did
which he
not.
did,
What-
even if he didn't, which he
This-
did,
this is such a-
even if he didn't, which he did, the fact of the
Theoretically, if he
matter
didn't,
is-
but he did.
yeah, theoretically, if he
Fact of
didn't,
the matter,
he did.
Fact of the matter is that
definitely
it's Daniel's fault and he did it on purpose.
The fact of the matter is, he did it during a 12-hour band practice, not an 8-hour one, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
And that is the end
and
of
that
the
is
podcast.
the end of the podcast.
Thank
That's all
you,
the time we
ladies
have
and
for
gentlemen.
today.
This joke will never make sense anymore outside of this podcast. And hey, talk to your friends. Be like, yo,
I think a lot of the
that
jokes
12-hour
we
day,
made in
am I
this
right?
podcast are gonna die with this podcast.
Dude, I think if you're
I just
listening to
wanted
this
to say,
podcast, if you made it
only
this
thing to
point,
fear-
like,
It's fear itself.
yeah,
Thank you,
if
Luke.
you're listening to this podcast right now and you made it through this point so far,
Yeah.
like this whole whopper jog of a mess that this podcast was, like, number one, how do you get Adderall? Like, do you have a medical prescription for it? Or
Dude, that's
did
so
you like
accurate.
get it from a friend?
How did you
Or-
sit through this whole thing, dude?
Or, hey, you need to put your phone on the charge because it's been playing this all night and it
Yeah.
needs to be charged. So,
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, one quick thing before we go. Apologies if anyone has offended by anything we say. Just want to throw this at the end, just in case, because it's
Yeah,
good for
Luke-
people to know.
Luke,
We make jokes.
Luke
We're not
is-
angry at each other right now. None of us are mad at each other. We just get
Yeah.
I'm
really.
actually extremely mad at Daniel for
You
manipulating.
didn't even say that with a straight face, dude. None of us are mad. We just act really mad and angry to each other, and because
Yeah,
it's just
so
Like when
if
I
you get
like when
offended-
We have
I like when
fun,
I broke
yeah.
all the coat
we're
hangers in
sorry
my
if you took offense
in my
to
dorm.
anything. We're sorry if you took offense to anything. We're not trying to be. Luke is a racist, though. That is something that is true.
Sorry, Juno's just rubbing off
and,
on me.
and Naimur's a plagiarist. So there we go.
And Daniel is a manipulator.
We love you all. We love you all.
All right, that's the end of the podcast right there. Goodbye, everyone.
I love you.
Night.
Daniel, I
don't
love
know.
you. Will you say it back? Say it back, baby.
I love
Goodbye.
you.
I'm ending.
I love
back,
you
Luke.
both.
No, I don't care.
I
if you say
don't.
it back, Luke. You suck.
I don't
No,
love
I think,
you.
I think we should have ended earlier. I think we should have ended when I
End.
said good night.
Okay, we're gonna end now.
Okay,
Bye.
we're ending.
Bye.
Okay, we're ending
3,
now.
2, 1.